All right, are we ready to boy? Are we ready to boy? Let's go.
Let's go.
You guys like my Mario? Let's go. All right.
What a timid Mario.
Mario's so shy. Mario, it's okay. No, Mario, we'll go. It's fine.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
3 beacons. Guarding the gates between infinity and zero. Keeping the balance between the lost and the reclaimed. Where once there were 8, now only stands 3. Against the sea of darkness. The two-pronged spirit. A collision of collusion mirrored against the creator. The weapon-souled leader. Struggle, loss, love. Bearing their humanity to lead the souls abandoned. The turbulent half-breed. Their story reclaimed, their future unnamed. The darkness swallows whole all that it encounters, for that is its nature. But nature is only a virtue. Master, you have arrived.
Why are you outside of the premises?
Master, there has been a problem. Master,
Where is Kumi?
She's gone, Master. Hello, this is Al-Shalderon. I have reconsidered your deal. All right. You guys are sitting in your hidden office, the unofficial official office you guys have. You guys were kind of called to this area just because Jack and Michael and Amber kind of wanted to talk to you before you guys went out to testify. First person that kind of walks in is actually who's like the first person to walk into your kind of hidden office thing?
I think it's probably Julie.
Julie? Okay. This is going to be weird then. Julie, you walk in and you see
Great.
Amber.
I love weird. I turn and walk out. I turn and walk out.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk in. Amber kind of is sitting there. She looks really tired and is kind of sipping coffee and just kind of sitting there, kind of in a half daze. As you're kind of standing out there taking a breath, Michael actually comes in. He's also wearing his robes and he goes,
Fantastic. Great.
Julie, would you like to go inside?
Yeah, I just got here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go inside. We just gotta have a quick word with you all. You eventually all kind of come in, and Jack finally comes in after you all make it in. And Jack goes, I'll keep this short. You all are going to testify in the front of the council right now, and as far as it's concerned, us three are the only ones that know you stole the Mona Lisa. I have talked it over with the speaker and a couple of other people, and we would like if you would keep the fact that it was specifically the Mona Lisa quiet. You can talk around it if you can. The council and the rest of the society is going to be more interested about your encounter with the Reaper and your...
So what you're telling us is this is
encounter-
a sham, and we need to lie to the council.
And also, the encounter with the Reaper was not part of the heist.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it was part of the job.
It was part of the job and not part of the heist.
That's what I'm saying, is that the council and the society will be more interested in, one, making sure that you all didn't fuck up our relationships with the Fae Kingdom, and two...
it wasn't us.
Well, we'll get to that during the
Is the
testimony,
diplomatic
I'm
team
sure.
going to be there too?
I should have mentioned that. Yes, the diplomatic team also arrives and is being told this with
We're going to burn another bridge at a council
Yeah! Let's alienate ourselves from anyone who could possibly be our ally.
meeting. Yeah.
Jack kind of continues and goes, they're going to be more interested in making sure that you all didn't destroy our relationship with the Fae Kingdom, and...
Well, it wasn't us.
Well...
We were sent on a mission,
Uh-huh.
and we were given false information like normal, and we were the ones
save it
left
for the
to deal with the
testimony.
consequences.
I'm telling you what you will have to testify on. Don't need to focus. Don't let it slip that it was the Mona Lisa. SWAT France is still...
What should we say? We were in the Louvre stealing the silverware?
Just say you were... I don't know. Just say you were given an assignment to investigate a priceless artifact that you could trade in. That's what your mission was, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah?
Then there you go. Jack kind of goes, listen, if we're being completely honest, I don't think that's... Even if you did tell them the Mona Lisa, I mean, that'd probably be a deal. Don't think that's going to be the biggest deal. They're going to be very interested in, one, how the Reaper escaped, and two, what happened.
Okay.
And TJ goes, okay, right. So we don't talk about stealing the Mona Lisa? Jack goes,
You didn't steal the Mona Lisa anyway.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Well, yeah, sure. We'll just, we'll dance around the fact that it was the Mona Lisa, I guess. It's still strange that it wasn't.
I
the
mean,
Mona
I'm
Lisa.
pretty sure if they realize, they're like, what priceless pieces of art have been stolen in the last 2 weeks? I think they'd probably
Listen.
be able to figure it out.
I'm just telling you that we won't press you on it, so you don't have to give it up that much. Anyway, you guys have fun. We're going to go get ready for the council meeting. So Jack leaves first in, first out. Michael kind of goes over to you, Wes, and goes, how are you feeling? How are you doing?
Well, not the best I've ever been. But also not the worst. Think we could save this for after the council meeting, though?
Yeah, yes, we can chat after. He kind of gives you a nod, Julian, you a nod, Cash, and walks out. Eventually, you guys are called into the my brain
Auditorium?
Auditorium. There we go. You guys are called into the auditorium so that they can listen to your testimony. And yes,
Does this happen all the time? Are there a lot of testimonies that
Yes.
just go on? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a very common thing. You guys haven't gone to a lot of them, I don't think. You guys did go to the one that the diplomacy team initially went on, where they kind of found out that the Reaper was captured. But I don't know if you guys have gone to any other ones. But it's a pretty standard fare.
Okay, cool. Okay.
That was the same. It was the same exact deal that you guys are doing right now. But you guys kind of walk into this thing, and you guys see that the entire house is just packed. You see, like, you've never seen the entire auditorium completely
Are
full,
they
but
selling
it is.
concert T-shirts? Like what?
They don't know that
How
we
do they
encountered the
know?
Reaper.
Yeah. How does
They
everyone
do.
know that this is going to be?
Oh, did I say it when we appeared back? Did I say
the
we
diplomacy team would have,
Oh, good job, diplomacy team.
because you guys were captured and you
Fucking
told them to
goddamn it.
deal with it. So they were trying to.
But the diplomacy team didn't see the Reaper.
No,
The Reaper
sorry.
was in the prison.
It wasn't TJ was with you, 1, and 2.
TJ was with us.
You were the most important thing that they would be worried about is that you were imprisoned by the fairy kingdom and then you somehow escaped.
Okay.
You guys eventually take your step up, and you guys kind of walk in and you see all of the council members there, minus obviously you can't see the illusion chair, but every chair is filled. Beesbos is there, the enchantment chair is there,
Fantastic.
the transmutation chair, the divination chair is even there, the conjuration chair, they're all there. And yeah, it's a full packed house. And the speaker kind of bangs her gavel twice to kind of get everyone to calm down. And as you guys walk in, there's kind of a slight whisper kind of going throughout the auditorium. And you all step up.
Wait. First of all, how surprised are the normal council members who aren't Jack and Michael? How surprised are they to see Cash?
See Cash? They don't look surprised, but you do hear a lot of whispers specifically about Cash being alive and here.
I'm self-conscious.
The speaker bangs her gavel and goes, all right, we obviously have a lot to get through. First of all, I would like to thank the council and the rest of the society, and she kind of motions for the entire crowd around you, for being here today. This will be a momentous testimony, to say the least. The first question, generally coming from the council before we begin, is how much trouble is the society in?
Probably a lot.
See, I disagree with that.
She kind of cocks an eyebrow at US.
I mean, we got out. The fake queen was there
You're
at
right.
the end.
You're right.
Remember? The fake queen was there. She was like, good job for working for me, Reaper. You got my daughter. And then we got out
Whoa.
and nothing happened. We'll get to
My
it.
eyes
Let's start
bug out
from
of
the
my
top.
head.
Let's start from the top.
There's a faint murmur kind of coming from the crowd, like a confused murmur, as though they're hearing part of something that they think is important. But the speaker kind of bangs her gavel and kind of gets them to quiet down and says, okay, fine. We will take it from the top. There is some, how do I say, confidential information as far as gaining your artifact that you were able to swap from the Reaper. We don't have to get into it too much, but we would like to know how you all performed and what the initial response and how it came to be. I'm not quite sure. Just some information on it. I know you can't talk about the confidential parts, but any information you can give on that would be useful.
See, it's very difficult to describe the thing we got without people being able to guess the thing we got. So I guess I look at Julie and Cash and go, I guess we should just say that we retrieved it with minimal casualties, no casualties, and no trace back to us, I don't think.
Okay.
And
this artifact was deemed a fake.
yeah, we
Not
had it
under-
run by the council, and they said it was real. And you guys said it was real, so really pulled a beefer on us there. That was good job, guys. Got us.
That is a fault on whoever it was turned over to, and they will be examined and they will be discussed. That is not a fault on you all. You all apparently performed amicably, and you are applauded for that effort. Now, you all performed your duties and were able to successfully obtain this item.
Correct.
You then were tasked with transferring it to the fairy kingdom to make this trade.
Correct. We were tasked with transporting it while the diplomatic team had the job of presenting it and negotiating the exchange.
Okay, and when you got to the fairy kingdom, could you please describe the events that transpired that led you to being arrested?
Well, we went to there was a a cocktail hour, essentially,
Yeah, there's a magic party.
where we could see some of the other guests. So there were other people with items to present. Then it came time to present the items, and the diplomatic team, I believe, instructed us that we were not to be first, but we were not last either. I think we were second to last. So they went up to present it. The assistant to the Fey Queen examined the artifact and deemed it a fake, at which point we were charged with wasting the Fey Queen's time, and the punishment would either be death of one of our own or a prison sentence divided amongst us. We argued about it for some time, at which point we were given a second charge of wasting the Fey Queen's time.
There's like a lot of murmuring going around, and the speaker kind of bangs her gavel and goes, "Okay, before that happens, did anyone notice that any of your own noticed that the artifact had become a fake?"
No, I believe we were keeping it in a pocket dimension.
Okay, understood. And that pocket dimension couldn't have been tampered with at all. Maybe
It was in my back
switched out.
pocket, so I'd hope not. I mean, switched out? Maybe. I pull it out of my back pocket, threw it in the ground in front of me. I'm like, there it is. I mean...
Interesting. Okay. I mean, it doesn't appear as though that could be... It seems a pretty secure method. That is some kind of holding apparatus.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting that the artifact... I'm assuming that this artifact was researched before to be of worth to trade with the Reaper, correct?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
it had
yeah.
to be considered priceless.
As many of our teams were trying to work with. And then you kind of hear a shout come from the crowd. "Tell us what it was!" And she kind of bangs the gavel twice and makes a gesture for that person to be quiet. And goes, "This is strange. I cannot discuss whether this artifact should or should not have been considered priceless, but the fact that it was deemed a fake, that's unusual, to say the least. Now, you all were charged with wasting the Fey Queen's time, and she then offered for you all to trade in your lives, but you managed to get here now. How did that happen? You all were...
Well, one person gave his life.
TJ actually kind of steps up. For the initial charge, I decided that it was my life that was worth the trade. But for some reason, instead of the fairies, they deal in deals. And I think that instead of trading my life for the Fairy Queen's time, the Fairy Queen decided to possibly trade up. And I was sold to the Dwarven Kingdom in the south. And there's like murmurs kind of going around the audience, and the speaker doesn't even bang the gavel. She goes, "What does that mean? Are we the society in debt to this Dwarven Kingdom?" And the TJ kind of gives a kind of a solemn nod and says, "Well, at least I am. I was sold into slavery, my life being spared, but I technically am supposed to be property to that kingdom." And the speaker shakes her head and kind of takes a moment to ponder and goes, "Well, that simply won't be necessary. I'm sure the society can work out some kind of deal to get one of our honored members back in our own ownership." And she kind of rolls her eyes. She goes, "So then the second one, you three were imprisoned."
We each took 10 years from the remaining members of the diplomatic team, instructing them to find a way to get us out.
We figured it would be
Interesting.
better to send some people back to SWAT to let you guys know what was happening. Just to, step in.
Interesting. Okay. We did get word from the diplomatic team almost immediately after the auction, as it were, for the Reaper was taken place. They came to us and we started figuring out ways we could make a deal for you all. And we had almost secured one, but then we were notified that at least one of you were sold out.
That would be Cash.
Interesting. And Ashaldaron, the red dragon of the astral sea, had bought the Reaper. Is this correct?
That is correct.
She kind of goes, okay, yes. So we had figured out that Ashaldaron had bought the Reaper, but TJ has mentioned it, at least to a couple of the council members, that the Reaper walks free. Could you please explain how you all managed to escape and how the Reaper managed to escape from you all?
There was another prisoner who came to the cell, and working with him, we escaped the prison. With
the Reaper, I feel like it's important to mention. We were put in a cell with the Reaper. They put us all in the same cell, which seems like bad practice.
At that point, there's like a lot of murmuring kind of going around, and the speaker kind of bangs her gavel and says, "You were in the same cell with the Reaper."
Yes, and the Reaper was not very talkative.
Interesting. Okay. You were. I'm assuming there was a fray of some kind. I can't imagine.
The cell, I believe, prevented some magical abilities from being used.
Yes, of course. I forgot the wards and specifically inside Elfame's castle prevents magical uses that aren't her own. Okay. Yes, that makes plenty of sense. So, how did you all escape in that instance?
So, well, we just went down the hall. Eventually, we came to
How did you get out of the prison itself?
There was someone else in the cell, and together with them.
Who was this other person in the cell?
If I say their name, wouldn't I be infringing on their privacy?
This is a testimony to the society. We need to know as much information as we can.
His name was Sildor. He was a real prick.
He was a servant. I think he was the Queen's jester.
What? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Please continue. Cash, you're not saying a lot. Make a perception check.
That was a perception.
Yeah, make a perception check.
That's a 12.
12? Okay. Yeah, you don't notice anything. You just kind of notice the council kind of leaning in and paying attention. You see a lot of
is the whole council there? I feel I'm
yeah, they all there except
yes.
the invisible guy because he's invisible.
And the speaker kind of continues and goes, so you, Sildor, the Elfame's jester, let you out of the. I mean, was there a game in this instance? Like, was there something that they wanted?
I'm going to not say anything because this is up to Cash to say.
There was the price of Sildor unlocking the cell door was a debt from me. We did not establish what the debt would be, but I am under onus at least twice to Sildor.
I turned to Cash. Wes and I already discussed this, and we believe you've been freed from the debt by death.
So you owe a debt to Sildor, and this was not made. I don't know what kind of angle Elfame or her jester might be making, but that could be compromising to you, Cash. I want you to know that.
Yes.
Okay, so you owe this debt to Sildor, somehow connected to this imprisonment. You all escape the jail cell, including TJ and the Reaper, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, so what happened while you were escaping this prison, and how did you eventually escape? Just continue, please.
Well, we were separated for a time, and then we met back up, and we were in a larger chamber, at which point the Reaper attacked us.
I'll throw in right after what Julie said. I'll be like, there were a few traps and tricks, but we got around them.
The speaker kind of goes, okay, we would like to know as much information as we can, but I guess you could just submit that in a written report. So you all managed to escape, and then you fought the Reaper in this chamber?
It was the Queen's hoard?
The vault?
I don't know what you call it. The vault? Her vault. It was her vault.
Okay, interesting.
The Reaper was there. The Queen showed up. She said something about your debt to me is repaid to the Reaper. Thank you for something about her daughter, finding her daughter. something like that.
I'll just remind you guys of some of the stuff real quick, just because I
Thank
didn't have you
you.
guys listen to that part. You escaped through your thing. You were all split up into different groups. Each of you has like a different thing that you guys remember. Cash, you found out some stuff. Julie, you found out some stuff. And Wes, you kind of encountered some stuff in there. But she goes, so you all managed to get into Elfame's vault and you fought the Reaper. How did the magic... The Elfame appeared. We want to know more about that. She said that your debts were cleared, that the Reaper's debt were cleared. I'm so confused.
The queen appeared in the vault. She said that her debt to the Reaper had been paid because the Reaper found her daughter. And then the Reaper's dowsing rod crumbled to dust. And then we had a brawl. And our magic came back to us, and then we fought.
Interesting. Elfame had a debt to the Reaper?
Yes.
Apparently.
Okay, you all fought the Reaper. How did the Reaper escaped? Or did you manage... I'm confused. Did you kill the Reaper?
No, I believe the Reaper teleported away.
Yeah, we kind of lost her. She did kill Cash, so
Yep.
we were maybe a little outgunned.
We have heard about that, and I mean, we're glad to have you back, Cash.
Glad to be back.
So how did you escape then? What happened? I'm assuming that the Elfame just wasn't going to let you leave.
After the Reaper left, we were attacked by some other creatures who were coming in from the hall. TJ drew a magic circle of some sort and teleported us back to
teleportation
SWAT.
Circle. While we fought off some creatures, ice monsters, golem.
Make an Arcana check.
I think that's what killed Cash.
That is
No,
Cash.
Well, you were
from
knocked
the
unconscious,
creatures?
and then you went vampire.
Yes,
And
I
then-
did go zombie mode.
10.
10? Okay. No, you don't know what those ice creatures were. She says, I understand that part of this was confidential, but you all are being somewhat vague. Is there any information you were able to glean from the Reaper or from the situation that was odd that we might be able to use to locate the Reaper?
No.
Is that not the second time we've seen
Is
the
that-
Reaper associated with a dowsing rod?
Yeah. This seems like some research could be done into that.
Okay.
And something about the Fae Queen. I mean,
if the Fae Queen is making deals with these dark powers, that we might need to discuss our treaty. We might need to prepare ourselves for something that could happen with the
Well,
the Fairy
that sounds
Kingdom.
like an important conversation that isn't necessarily relevant at the moment. But
Okay, so you all managed to escape, and so you all owe a debt to the Fairy King, to Elfame, because of your
did
escape.
she not say at the end of it that we were good?
She did. She said
Okay.
that she said you owe her debt, but it's something you would already do.
Okay.
So
So just before we left, she informed us that although we owed her a debt, it was something that we were going to be doing anyway.
there's kind of not a silence that kind of spills over the crowd, but like a kind of strange contemplation. Like everyone in the room is kind of thinking at the same time. And everybody make perception checks.
Uh-oh.
11.
8.
10.
10.
10.
Roll one for Nelson.
Oh, shit, right, he's here.
He's
Not
in the
with you
audience.
guys, but he's in the audience. Yeah.
17.
17. Okay.
Yeah,
Nelson. I'll tell you later what happened because you guys can't act on it now. So
Okay.
there's a silent kind of contemplation that kind of gathers around the audience, and she goes, "So very strange. I'm going to open up the council to ask any questions. I would ask the council to," and she kind of gives a pointed look to Beesbos, to be mindful of the confidentiality of the circumstances that surround this. And Beesbos is actually the first one to kind of step up and goes, "Now, Speaker, I respect your authority completely, but I am
But I am going to completely disregard it.
I'm a very curious man. Can I get some kind of hint as to what all you...
Not publicly.
And you see the enchantment chair stand up and he says, well, if you were present at our briefing, you would know, good sir. Now, I do have a few questions for you.
He was
all.
too busy not paying his workers a living wage.
Dunk on him. Dunk on him.
Get him! Come at me! Come at me, Daddy Beesbos. Come at me.
The enchantment chair kind of stands up to his full height and goes, you all performed at a level that is strange, to say the least. I am aware of how you all managed to procure your artifact. What I am confused on is how the society is at fault for not making sure that your all objective was completed to its fullest. We should have the Reaper in custody at this very moment.
I apologize. What is your question?
How did the artifact that was so very rare end up not being the artifact that we were looking for?
First, it wasn't rare. It was unique. And we had it examined. When we returned, we handed it over to the 3 members of the council who had been overseeing this mission. They confirmed its authenticity. And then when we, at some point, it must have been swapped. Or the 3 members of the council who examined it were incorrect.
He kind of, he gives a glance, a very slight glance, like almost imperceptible, but just because you are paying attention to him and you kind of know the circumstances, he gives a glance over to Michael, Jack, who are kind of sitting together, and then kind of glances over at Amber again, who is still very just kind of out of it right now. He goes,
She's like,
she just is so over this meeting. And the chair goes, so are you making a claim that someone in the society here worked against our own interests?
I'm not claiming anything. I'm stating the facts, sir.
He kind of gives you he almost glares at you a little bit, with your lawyerish terms, and takes a seat. The transmutation chair steps up and says, this is something I do need to know of. You all did request quite a large project of me, very large resource of mine, and I do want to know how it was used.
Those items were used in the retrieval of the item, and they were incredibly helpful to the cause.
Invaluable, and we thank you immensely.
Yeah, she kind of takes a nod and sits down. The conjuration chair steps up and says, a lot of this just doesn't add up. I feel like there might be something that is pertinent to this that you all aren't telling us. And whether or not that's the confidential part, we will discuss in the council meeting after this briefing. But I do want to know, is there anything strange or unusual that popped out to you besides the fact of your artifact retrieval, which we are almost pretty well aware of at this point?
Sildor had a type of magic to swap names with someone.
That is a fairy ability, yes. Ashaldaron, actually, I'm more curious about. He has been coagulating power in the astral plane for some time, and were you able to glean any insights off of why he wanted the Reaper?
Can I turn to Wes and Cash and quietly say, did he say he was prepping for a war against the humans, maybe against Gaia?
He didn't say he was prepping for a war, but he was prepping for something big, and he needed the kind of power of the Reaper. He didn't necessarily say war, but if you would like to say that, that is your call.
I turned back to the people who were the chairs. He was preparing for something. He did not specify what, but it required the power of the Reaper, and he was amassing different assets.
Okay.
That's all the knowledge I have on this subject.
All right. Yes, of course. Well, we definitely, and he kind of addresses the society. He goes, we definitely need to figure out what these moves are being made. There's something building, and we can't quite tell what it is. This is the primary objective of investigations team, and it kind of looks towards you all. I'm not saying you did your job.
We were
terribly. In fact, you
we
all
were
performed
indisposed.
Indisposed? How so?
We were in prison.
Yes, but as a warning, this isn't a lecture more than it is a public testimony to the investigation team, the investigation sector as a whole for the society. It's time to turn our eyes past the Reaper and beyond, it seems. And the enchantment chair kind of takes a step up and says, the Reaper has done insurmountable damage to our society. Are you telling me that we need to divert our resources against our primary objective, which is to defend Gaia and Phaeton alike? And the conjuration chair actually kind of just mouses away from this kind of scathing remark and goes, what I'm saying is that, we have a lot of other things we need to be preparing for, it seems, and the Reaper seems to be taking up a lot of resources. And the enchantment chair kind of barks back, the Reaper is a resource that has been taken away from us and has been working against us. And until the Reaper is stopped, we hold no power. And he sits back down. Jack kind of stands up and says, this was an unpredictably important event. Any information about the Reaper you can give us would be the most useful thing to us right now.
I can't think of anything.
Neither can I.
TJ kind of steps up and says, the Reaper did mention something. I'm sure it was just whatever propaganda that the Reaper uses to justify their actions, but they said that the council had done something to them. I'm not sure how classified the Reaper's information is, but they seem to have a grudge specifically against the council. I'm not sure how useful that information is, but was presented to us. And he kind of takes a step back. Beesbo stands up.
Great,
And
fantastic.
This clown.
He goes, I was just made aware, and he kind of gives a nod to
what the artifact was.
To Amber.
Oh, she woke up.
No, she was awake. She was just
I'm
kind
joking.
of looking.
I know.
Oh, yes. Okay. I was made aware of what this artifact was, and I was made aware of how it was obtained, and I can only say that you all worked marvelously. And I think it's time that we make a decision here. You all are without a guide, and you have been for some time. You have lost your guide and also the strike unit's team's guide, and TJ, your time is pretty much done, and we did offer your team once this job was completed. Mind you that the Reaper wasn't caught, but you all managed to avoid a international catastrophe.
Is that considered a success around here?
For a undergraduated team that is without a guide, I would say that is a success of sorts.
Yeah.
And I would like to make the motion that we graduate these teams. And there is like a strange amount of shouts and whispers and just confusion kind of going throughout the council. And you see the speaker kind of bang her gavel and go, I'm so sorry. I am very confused. Are you graduating this team for a failure? And Beesbo's kind of chuckles to himself and says, listen, I don't see this as a failure. I don't think they see it as a failure. I think they prevented what could have been a huge problem with the Fairy Kingdom and possibly the Astral Plane and Shaldaron's domain and all this. It seems as though everything ended up pretty fine. I mean, the Reaper's still out there, but I'm assuming that you all didn't leave the Reaper unscathed. He kind of looks at you all.
That is correct.
So, and we know generally they can write it in an affidavit or whatever, a document of some of the Reaper's abilities. We have a pretty solid beat. I think, especially for an ungraduated team, they have performed remarkably, and I think it's worth giving them a chance. and a kind of like awkwardness kind of settles around the council and
Everyone's
the,
"Great.
the society
Thanks,
in general.
Jeff."
I don't know about that.
And the speaker kind of pinches the bridge of her nose and forefinger, and goes, right, okay, we will put it to motion in front of the entire society.
Oh, great. Now they get to all see us fail.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
would like these 3 graduate to become a graduated league of the investigation brigade here in the society? And Beeswell's put his hand up.
Yeah,
And you see Jack put his hand up. You see Amber put her hand
Jack.
up.
Oh.
You see Michael put his hand up.
Yay, Michael.
And then you see the enchantment chair put his hand up.
What?
Yeah.
The
I
enchantment
won him
chair.
over. I won him over.
Whoa.
He's my friend.
And then you see kind of the transmutation chair kind of looking,
Come on, Sarah.
contemplating it.
Come on, Sarah.
And then you see the conjuration chair just kind of shaking his head. And then you see Michael kind of looking at the enchantment chair, and he kind of slowly puts his hand down.
Who,
And
Michael or the enchantment chair?
Michael.
Okay.
Come on, Papa.
Come on,
And then you
Papa.
actually see in his slumber Papa.
Yeah,
his hand.
Papa.
Yeah, Papa.
Is this
And-
like a 2/3 vote thing? I don't know what we're rooting. Is it a
Yeah, I don't know what we're going for.
And with that, you see the speaker kind of bang her gavel and says, the majority of the council has decided.
Can we know how the illusion chair voted?
The illusion chair, you don't see anything. Nothing.
Dang
happens. She kind of goes, seems to be a council majority. Michael, how is your vote going? And Michael sighs and then stands up. He says, maybe it is my own personal bias. Maybe it is a misunderstanding I have here. I do not think that these 3 specifically should be graduated. And he sits back down. And you see the transmutation chair finally stand up and says, from what I understand from your story and from the more confidential bits, you all worked way above your pay grade, and I believe that you all should be given at least this chance. Plus, without having your guide, it's about time we move you on to the next level. I vote in favor. And she sits down, and the speaker goes, all right, with all the votes decided, the investigations team and the diplomacy team will now move on to their graduated states and will begin their training to join the full brigades. And everyone applauds. It's kind of an awkward applause because nobody expected for this to happen. There's usually like a lot more build up to this, and it was kind of sudden. But there's an amicable applause, and the speaker kind of bangs her gavel twice, and she says, "With that, this meeting will be adjourned. The council will discuss more, and we may call upon you 7 to give us a little bit more information." TJ, because you are now without a class, you are released back to your squadron. And would you 3 notify Nick that he is also free to be released back?
Does that mean we don't have a manager anymore?
Woo!
What? Yeah, baby. Cash is gonna try to sneak a fist bump over to Wes.
behind Julie's back? Yeah.
Jesse and Tyler, could you guys just leave the call for a sec?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Nelson
Yeah.
is kind of watching this whole deal kind of go down, and he is intently watching your newfound friends and also the council. And a couple of things kind of catch your attention when you are kind of looking over this ordeal. One, you notice that when Beesbos and the enchantment chair kind of share a glance, and it seems like they were communicating on some, maybe not like a telepathic level, but they were communicating on some kind of objective when Beesbos stood up. And you also, and the enchantment chair also kind of stood up. You also notice Amber kind of doing an enchantment to do make an Arcana check.
That's a natural 20 plus 8.
Natural
28.
20. You notice her doing a couple of whispers and a couple of sendings to Jeff Bezos.
Okay.
You kind of assume to fill him in on whatever was whatever he had missed out during the meeting. And then you notice make an insight check on Bezos and the enchantment chair and just kind of the council in general. I'll just do one roll for all of it.
That is a 19.
19. Bezos from what you know, Beesbos isn't usually heavily involved in the council doings. So for him to bring up a graduation seems to be odd, but it seemed to have been like when the enchantment chair and Beesbos kind of shared that glance, it seemed to be have brought on by the enchantment chair.
Okay. Nothing else?
Unless you want to specifically investigate something else that happened during this time.
I think Nelson would pay particular attention to what Michael was doing when he put his hand down.
Just because of that 19-year-old, he specifically looked at the enchantment chair. You saw him like kind of doing the math in his head, and then he lowered his hand.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So you all eventually are kind of funneled out along with the rest of the society. You get a couple of congrats. Gad is actually like part of there, and he's like, very, very interesting stuff in there. And you see Todd, the rogue who Cash is kind of friends with. He actually kind of runs up to you and goes, Cash, I didn't know you were back.
Yeah, here I am, flesh and bone.
I mean, it's very strange that
I definitely was not expecting this.
I mean, I'm glad you're not dead. That was kind of sad for a little bit.
Hey, me too, but I guess we good now.
Yeah, hey, let's hit up the gym sometime. Let's let's get back to training,
Yeah, I gotta get some PT done, but I mean after that.
Oh,
too.
yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
That leg looks a little bit worse.
Yeah.
By this point you have your cane back, by the way.
I had a few issues with atrophy when I was out of it.
Yeah, we can, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a physical therapist, but
Don't worry about it. I will be back up to snuff, and we can hit the gym.
Yeah. He kind of gives you a fist bump.
Yeah.
You all eventually kind of walk out and go back to your cubicle. You kind of wait around for a little bit, and eventually 3 envelopes kind of up on your desk.
Crack them bad boys open.
You all kind of crack them open, and you're kind of stunned, first by the number that kind of pops up, but then also by like kind of some of the notes that are written about. Julie, you're stunned by the number, but also like by the well-written review of your leadership of this team on this mission specifically, and how well you kind of handled the situation that you were brought into.
Surprising.
It does say that there needs to be more investigation on your team's behalf on how this artifact was either misconstrued or misnamed, or however it happened, changed out. That is specifically your guys' objective. Wes, your note is more on the lines of, or it was a good note on your side that there was not as many casualties as this time, that your magic seemed to be a little bit more controlled, at least by the accounts given. And Cash, your notes were a little bit more hurried. Didn't seem like they had been as ready to give you as many notes as they had, but they are pretty well written as well. And you all
the dead guy's back on payroll. Oh no.
Oh no, we already removed his social security number from the system.
You're each given $11,000.
Woo!
Oh,
yes, please.
Big
yes,
Daddy.
As a bonus for your graduation, and also for the job you did.
Yes, baby.
Nick, you can see Nick actually packing up his office. Goes, well, guys, it was I guess it was nice working with you all. You guys were my last group. I'm done being a desk jockey, and I'm back into the real world.
Is that a pun, O'Neill?
Yes.
It's been a real blast.
Shut the fuck up, Cash. Yeah, I'm gonna be going back to my squadron again. I've been training, obviously. Been leaving the office early and all that. He kind of stretches, getting a little bit of rehabilitation and all that.
Hey, Nick, what is it that you do exactly?
Now or before?
Let's go with it now. What do you do now? What is your speciality?
Hopefully I can go back to my squad.
What's that squad?
I mean, they're still in Arsenio and TJ and Liam. We were all
that's
part of the same unit.
Eclectic group.
But what do you do?
Yeah, like what
guess
class
I can tell
are
you guys?
you?
It doesn't
What's
really
your
matter.
Specialty?
Oh, I'm a caster type. I'm a studious one. One could say, but I can also throw down with the rest. And I don't mean to brag or anything, but I'm a part of the terrors and all that. So
well, I am so sad to see you go, but you know what? Happy trails, all that. I wish the best for you. Do you need help packing?
He kind of rolls his eyes at you and goes, you all were the worst people I've ever had to manage, but I'm glad this is over. That came out wrong.
Nick,
you know what?
that
Fun.
was the nicest thing you have ever said to us.
You know what? This isn't really isn't my forte. I'm just gonna, head out. And he takes the box he has with him and casts like a little spell, and some more kind of float behind him. He says, you guys will probably be fine. Try not to blow up any more SWAT bases. Yeah.
We never blew up one SWAT base, did we?
No.
I mean, your first mission, you did blow up a SWAT base. So
I thought that
wasn't a SWAT base. That
wasn't
was
a
the plan.
SWAT base. That was
That
the
wasn't
plan. I
SWAT.
thought they were an independent thing. That's
They
how
are
it was
kind
framed
of, yeah.
to us.
Nick kind of goes, well, the plant, yeah, just try not to screw up your next couple of missions, and I'm sure you guys will be okay. He goes, okay, I'm leaving. Goodbye. And
He really did
leaves.
put the man in manager.
The moment he leaves, I cast polymorph on myself, turn myself into a donkey, and then I walk into his office, and then I just I pretend to type in the computer. It's stupid. It's stupid. This is a dumb game for dumb people.
Yeah, you guys are actually, you guys begin packing up your office, and you're actually given the office that you actually planned the heist in. And you guys pretty much occupied that one anyway, so you have your own private office now.
Woohoo!
Cash.
Yeah.
Actually, what do you guys want to do now? We'll do whatever scenes you guys kind of want to do. I have a couple of planned ones, but if you guys have anything you want to do in between this and the next couple parts.
I don't have anything for Cash, but I think Nelson wants to go congratulate the gang.
Yes, that's a very good idea. Yeah.
Hey,
You guys see Nelson kind of hobbling down the road, so to speak, and kind of runs up to you.
Hey, gang, congrats.
Oh, thanks. I don't think we're ready to graduate, but it seems like they did.
I mean, you
And-
guys did a pretty good job. I mean, kicking ass or whatever it is that you were doing in the astral plane, that was pretty cool too. So if it was in
That was
mine-
not the best.
I mean,
we
in
could have
my
done.
opinion, I think y'all should have graduated a long time ago. Y'all ran into the Reaper, 2, 3, 4 times? I think y'all should have graduated a long time ago.
Well, running into the Reaper is different than successfully fighting the Reaper.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Them's the breaks. Well, I just
What are
wanted to
you-
see...
wha-
What?
I was going to ask what you were going to do now.
Huh. Well, I think I'm gonna head back to the workshop, and after that, maybe I'll get assigned to a team. But who knows? I mean, I'm also working in the lab with my dad, and I'll just spend a lot of time in the workshop, so... And let me know if y'all ever need anything. I'll see what I can do. Would you mind, too terribly if I got those bags back?
Of course.
Yeah. I also
handed
go
over.
I also go on my desk and I hand back the Cloak of Elvenkind.
Aw, sick. Thanks. I mean, I always get cold, so this is good.
There is a letter that kind of just appears before you. Nelson, make a dexterity saving throw.
It's your dad being like, "Where are you?"
11.
11. Yeah, you fumble with it for a little bit, and it kind of falls on the ground, but you eventually kind of pick it up. And it's a letter from Jack.
Oh. I open it.
It reads, "You performed pretty well. I mean, I know your talents are varied and well formed already, and you've been doing a great job both in the lab and also as an artificer. What would you think of joining this investigation team? You are leagues above. You are young, but you are leagues above all of your peers, and if it were strictly up to me, you would be part of the terrors, but it is not. Just respond back to me when you can. Jack."
Oh my god.
You okay there?
Jack just asked me if I wanted to join y'all's team. I mean, is that...
Oh, that's
Is that
awesome.
okay with y'all?
You can, as long as you're not on any frontline missions.
Oh, come on.
No.
You'll change your mind.
No, I compromised last time, and you got stuck in the astral plane.
Well, I'm here now. I didn't technically get
Yes,
stuck because I'm
but-
here.
Cash has died twice, so
Well, I am a lot more careful than Cash. No offense.
We say in front of Cash.
yeah, I know. I said that in front of Cash.
What? Hey, you know what? You're right. Never mind. Well, heck yeah, I'd love to. I mean, only if that's cool with y'all.
Of course.
All right, well then I'm gonna go talk to Jack. Right now. I'll be right back. Back.
It'll be nice to have someone else who can cast spells.
Yeah, that kid is certainly enthusiastic.
Yeah.
You see Nelson sprint off to go talk to Jack and go tell his father. A little bit later, unless you guys have something you want to do right now.
9.
I do want to talk to Cash and Julie. Look, we'll
Okay.
fill the
Oh,
kid
we
in
have to
later.
fill
But
Yeah, Cash, there's some stuff you should know.
Okay.
wait, what do we have to tell Cash? I was going to say something completely. What do we have to tell? What do we have to tell Cash? Oh, I know what we have to tell Cash.
We are under the impression that something has changed within SWAT.
Yeah.
Michael told me himself the other day that something is wrong. And quite frankly, I think I agree with him that we're not ready to move up to the next level.
I mean, I
Look.
spent more than a few days dead because of SWAT and my own faults.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree.
Look, did you see that? Michael had his hand up. The enchantment chair had his hand up. That guy's never liked me. He has to have an ulterior motive for pushing us through. And then
Yeah.
Michael put his hand down when the enchantment chair put his hand up. There's something going on, and I don't know what it is. And look, we need to figure out everything that we know. We'll fill in the kid. He seems like he might be able to put things together a little better than we can. His mind works maybe a little
I want to
faster.
talk to you guys about that, but you guys finish up.
And we need to put together everything we know that's happening, and we need to start acting on it.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Cash?
Well, after this whole dying again thing, I wasn't okay before all this. You guys could probably tell that.
We know.
Yeah. And I did a lot of groundwork to make sure that my family was okay when I went out on missions and did stupid shit. And I'm not all back yet. And it's gonna take me a while to get literally on my feet again with this leg. Worse off than it was before when I started. And I don't want to hold you guys back because you guys did so much for me and the kid.
In the astral plane, I believe there were 2 parts of you. We went after one, but there was still another one there.
Oh. Well,
Could that have
explains
something
the
to
missing
do?
leg. That could be it. That could be it. I think you guys work really well with the kid. You have great teamwork that I can see. And I think it would be smart if I took a step back and let you guys work with the kid, because he could thrive under you guys. I mean, step back just for now, not forever.
I think that's the smart decision.
Yeah.
You sort out whatever things are going on, and you come back to us better than before.
And look, I mean, just because you're not working with us doesn't mean you can't hang out or something. If you ever want to get a drink, just give me a call.
I mean, it's still me. I'm still gonna harass you guys. Yeah, I just gotta do this for me and for Darla, and, well, I will, so. I think it's for the best. Yeah, so I will let Jack and the council know that I just need to go on a brief hiatus. And I know we just graduated or whatever. I think you guys would work really, really well with the kid. And you guys might do a little better without me. He seems smart. So I guess thank you guys for understanding.
Good job keeping Kumi alive.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check on her, so I'll see you guys around.
I go for a good firm friend handshake and
Yes.
do like the one arm hug thing.
Yes! Love it. Very good. Reciprocated.
You see Cash. He begins walking away from you, and you kind of realize that this won't be the last time you see Cash. Cash will still be around. He still has to work for SWAT, but this will probably be like the last mission for a while. You go on with Cash, and it's been fun. Cash, you've been given special permission to be able to enter the prison unchastised by the local guards to specifically visit Kumi. You still get a guide bringing you, but they give you space and you're kind of given free reign as far as visiting this specific prisoner. And you walk up and you see Kumi actually just stirring from her sleep, and she goes, "Oh, Cash,
Hey.
How are you? How are you feeling? How's the leg?
Well, it would be a lie to say that it was doing great, but I'm up and walking. I guess that's something. How about you?
You said
How
you
are
had
you?
like a. Oh, I'm fine. I'm just I'm actually starting to feel less and less tired as the time goes on, and you actually see like the kind of Foxlight's features of Kumi have pretty much all but disappeared.
Okay.
And she goes, "Yeah, I really can't wait until we get out of here. Are you gonna be super busy these
No.
next couple?" She kind of smiles when you say that, and she goes, you spent a lot of time telling me about Chicago and LA and New York. I would really love to see those places if you would take me."
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I'll see if I can get SWAT to send me on a couple missions abroad. I just told the team that I'm taking a little bit of a breather while I get my bearings back underneath me. Yeah, I would love for you to see Chicago and I was in LA once, but that was for a tournament, but I want you to see those things.
I mean, I would love to see them with you, Cash. She kind of, you see her actually kind of blush a little bit, and she goes, yeah, there's probably only about a week or so left from
9 days.
Well, okay, you're keeping track, not me.
Yeah, that's my job. That was our deal.
Yeah. Once we get out of here, we should start traveling.
Yeah, as soon as we're both ready.
And obviously get that leg taken care of as well.
Yeah. That'll be some work.
And you guys kind of keep on chatting, and you eventually kind of settle into a comfortable silence where you guys just hang out for a little bit. And it's old lore that Gumiho were known to steal the hearts of men so that they could live forever and gain immense power. But far fewer people talk about the power of steering the heart of a Gumiho. And with that, I will be sending you your new feat.
Yeah! Yay! That's a romance, baby!
Yes, you are getting the monk class whenever you come back to it. This animal-esque one that I am sending.
Wow,
to
her
you.
third monk subclass.
I'm so glad
Oh.
Cash just retired right when they got this great new power.
It's nothing crazy, but it's a little something in there for you. Did it not all send? It did not all send.
This is cool.
Oh, wait, Julie, you wanted to Google something.
Oh yeah, I'm googling. So I only know his first name, and it's Philip. She must have told me his last name, right? Julie's birth father.
Philip Williams.
Okay, I'm gonna
We
Google.
already have 4 Williams.
Guys-
Please, God, change it. Ding, 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 ding.
Philip Davis.
Fantastic.
That sounds like a name already, but sure, Philip Davis.
So I'm gonna Google Philip Davis in the SWAT database.
You Google Philip Davis.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Make your Google check.
Yeah, that was a crit fail.
Yeah. Oh, so really nothing.
The computer-
There are actually about
computer
6
crashed.
Philip Davises in SWAT. Yeah, you're Googling away and you just can't find anything about a Philip Davis that is related to you in any instance.
Now, I have a question.
Yum?
SWAT has a library, yay.
Yes, him?
Do they have a restricted section, like a Harry Potter Hogwarts restricted section?
Yes and no. There's Llama's collection, which is pretty restricted. There's different like collections, almost like think Mugar, how it has like different sections. There's like
Okay.
a section that is not part of the actual library that would be restricted from most people.
Okay.
Old tomes
Actually,
and scrolls
can I go
and
talk to
stuff like
Llama?
that. Yeah.
All right, I go find Llama, I assume, on one of the days in between the stuff that you want to do and now.
It's all. This is all happening the same day, but you can. Do you want to do this?
Yeah,
would this
I'll
be
do
the same day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Julie's googling away. You're running over to Llama.
Yeah, I go into his office to say, "Hey, hi,
Oh, Wesley, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I was wondering if you could help me with something.
Of course.
I I've checked the library, and there's really only minimal information. I was wondering if you knew of any, if you had any books or knew of anything in the library I should check out for learning about the Outlands, more information about them. With all the incursions lately, I was just thinking it might behoove me to maybe try and learn some more about them. From
Yes,
what we
of
know.
course. Most of the knowledge we have from the Outlands are from the 12th century of SWAT, when we sent out certain brigades through a certain portal that we knew of that led us straight from Phaeton to the Outlands. Unfortunately, all those brigades were killed, and the information we received from them was minimal. That is the publicly available information. We have done countless research on the Outlanders themselves. Some of them are strangely relatable to our own creatures, while some are far, far more dangerous and strange. What information are you specifically looking for?
I mean, more specifically about Outlanders themselves. I don't know. I just
That is an
we keep running
interesting-
into them, and it seems like we've run into multiple at this point. It seems like they're separate entities with goals, and I'm just curious what.
Make a persuasion check.
That's a 12 plus 9, 21.
Woo!
21. He takes a moment and goes, very well. I don't let a lot of people read my personal collection, but fortunately I finished the enchantment on this one, that it will return to me after the date I give it to you. He kind of walks, you're in Llama's like area, right?
Yeah,
The kind of soul,
office,
the spirit realm chamber and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he walks kind of back far behind the thing. And it takes about an hour before he comes back out. What are you doing in this hour? Because it's a while.
I don't know. I think I pull out a notebook and I start jotting down everything that I know about Outlanders, everything I know about what's happening at SWAT. I'm sort of making an investigation journal.
Gotcha. He eventually comes back out and he goes, very studious. I enjoy your stewardness, Wesley. It's very befitting of you for an investigation graduation. I would like to congratulate you on that as well. Kind of gives you a nod. And he goes, this book will return to me in 7 days. I would prefer you bring it back to me before then. I would not like to waste an enchantment. But if you do not, it will return to me on its own.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
He hands you over this dark book with this ruby red gemstone in the center of it. And you can kind of glean, I'm not going to make you roll an arcana check, but that gemstone and kind of some of the text written on the outside of the book is part of the enchantment. But there's also an enchantment placed on the actual text within. And he goes, I made it so that you are able to decipher it with your limited speaking and reading abilities.
Thanks.
You illiterate.
Do you want me to go read Oedipus Rex to you in ancient Greek? Because I know it. I can read it.
I forgot that
I mean,
character.
I've read it I've read it myself. It's quite a good read, and especially in the original text.
There's just no need to be rude about my literacy skills. I
No.
get it.
No. I did not mean that to be a dig. I did not mean to. He kind of sighs and chuckles and goes, now, knowledge is very powerful, Wesley. Some of the knowledge in that book, I don't know how, but could be used in some manner to bring about some kind of change or destruction, as you know. I would just ask that you are careful with the knowledge that you procure.
Well, do the best I can.
Well, thank you for visiting me, Wesley.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah, you see a group of another squadron of strike units kind of coming in. He says, "Oh, my next appointment is here," and they kind of hop into the. You see them getting ready to go into the spirit realm, and you leave.
So it's a llama because I assume all the library books in SWAT's library about Outlanders are all like in
How to kill them.
In 1543, this Outlander killed these 7 people, and we killed it like this, and then tips for killing them, it's
very
Yeah.
much so. Very
Yeah.
strike oriented, honestly. There's little investigation knowledge about
like
the
exact like history books where it's like, you know, then
how to
in
banish an outlander.
in
In some instances, yeah.
1947, this cartoon character came flying into the world, and you know,
Yeah. I'm going to have you make an investigation check here in a minute to glean the
burned down 3
information.
bars in Harlem.
Yes. Julie, were you doing something? I'm sorry, I completely just blanked on what you're Googling. You were just Googling and that was it?
Yeah, well, I do also want to look up. I believe I had a conversation that involved me not knowing Fey politics, so I do want to look a bit into that.
Okay. What are you doing to look that up?
I'm Googling, I guess, on the SWAT database.
Yeah. Make a Google check for me.
Oh my god, please, please, please.
This actually will be very useful to you.
Okay, that was a 2.
Okay. You only get the vaguest kind of understand. It's all.
I misspell the words, so none of the results come up.
No, you get results. You understand. The reason you don't get the information you're looking for is you just don't know the terms.
Nuances. Okay.
Yes, just like you wouldn't if you were Googling about the British Parliament. There are certain things you just wouldn't understand to Google to understand certain things, except for on a far, far different level. But you get the basics. You understand that the Phaetonian Pact of whatever the fuck I said. I've said it before. It's in my notes somewhere. I just don't want to Google it for now or look it up in my notes for now. Yes, was a fact between humans on Gaia and Phaetonians to protect Phaetonians from coming onto Gaia. That would then in turn protect them from the encroaching Outlanders. This was made kind of in the Middle Ages is when this was kind of solidified. And yeah, that's all I'm going to give you.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. Is there anything else you wanted to do? Because these other things will kind of happen later.
I don't think so. I think, well, there's paperwork for me to do because I was out for a while, right? So I have to catch up on that.
There's paperwork you have to do.
I also have a scene I want to do with Julie and Nelson, but I think we can save that for after whatever you have planned. Unless it's going to be like,
where are you going after this, Wes?
We have a private
After
office,
you get the book.
so I was just going to go back
office
there and get started on the book.
Okay. You are in your office. Julie, you are probably also in this office space. You guys have your own like areas in this office space, but it's kind of secluded.
Yeah,
and
like one of those offices that professors have, where it's like
and
it kind of branches out.
Room. Yeah.
Yep. You get a knock on your office area, and it's Michael.
Yep.
Oh boy.
He goes, Wes. First of all, congratulations. I apologize for my showmanship.
Oh, no, don't worry. I agree with you.
Make an insight check on Michael.
That's not comforting
while
at
I
all.
continue to say what he says. He goes, 18. 18? It's council politics, honestly. It's just, you know, you have to show face and we have factions, and I don't want to ruin the image of the council to you, but he's bullshitting you. But, you know, I couldn't necessarily ally myself with the enchantment chair. We're on different terms. So.
I mean, I assumed once he got involved that there's probably ulterior motives for promoting us. But you know what? We're going to make the best out of it and see what happens.
He kind of picks up what you're hinting at his like kind of BSery, and he goes, yeah, the ulterior motives is what I'm worried about.
Julie's just sitting there in the middle of this awkwardly.
I'm like,
no, sorry. It is very much like the professor. Like it kind of splits off. Like there's a main, like kind of almost loungish area, and then you guys kind of split off into your own.
Yeah, I was thinking
areas.
That's so much nicer. I thought we had like
we had like
3
a
desks
room
in a
that's
room.
like a You guys, it's an office.
We used to
box.
just have 3 desks in a room. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
You used to have a cubicle, and now you kind of have your own sections.
Yeah.
It's not like super deep in, but you guys have your own areas to work.
Definitely.
He goes, the ulterior motives is what I'm worried about. I don't know if it was.
I'm gonna walk out with an empty water bottle. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna refill my water.
Oh, hey, Julie. Just chatting away with Wes. Don't need to. Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. It's the Wes. The enchantment chair, while he is a great asset to the society, and I would never think he would have any ulterior motives, is the last person I would expect to vote for. I don't know if he saw something special in you and your mission and your accomplishments. I mean, don't get me wrong. They are amazing accomplishments, but he is the last person I would expect to vote in favor for you. And Beesbo's bringing up the vote for graduation. I don't know if he's trying to stir the pot. Maybe it was just a moment that he was trying to get for himself. You know, he's big on the showmanship, if you cannot tell. But it's strange and it's not normal. And I'm worried and confused about what this means for your team.
Look, Michael, do you trust Jack and Amber? Who do you trust on the council? You had a
If we're being completely honest, the only person I trust on the council is Jack. Now, Jack is a little bit more optimistic and forthright with his beliefs of the society, that you cannot operate without shared truth, and I also believe that to a sense. But if we're talking about who I would expect to have my back in the end days, it would be Jack. That is it. Amber is young and foolhardy, and, well, I could keep on going, but I have my beliefs about everyone.
Well, then, go ahead and call Jack. Tonight, after SWAT closes down, Nelson and Julie and I have a meeting here. You should come, bring Jack. The point of it is to get to the bottom of everything that's happening. We're going to lay out everything we know, all the questions we have, and we're going to start trying to put a plan in action instead of us just bumbling around like the chuckle fucks we are and running into problems.
What do you have in mind, Wesley?
Look, I don't have much in mind. That's why we're having the meeting. We need to consolidate information. We need to know what everybody knows. And
okay, I'm a bit busy tonight, Wes. I have more council things to do with the Reaper still being out. We are committed to diverting until we capture them. And he kind of gives you a slight look.
Well, then we'll fill you in. But Julie and Nelson and I, that's our plan. Look, Michael, I'm not happy with you. Don't get it twisted. But right now I'm putting my anger aside because there is something going on right now. And I need your help with it, and you need my help, and we're going to figure it out. And we can deal with our personal bullshit after this is all over. But there's something going on right now, and that's priority one.
You're right, Wesley, and I'm not disagreeing with you. That's why I brought you in the first place. It's just, life is just so busy and so hectic. But yes, I agree. It is time we get to the bottom of this conundrum we find the society in. And with that, he kind of says his goodbyes and leaves. Hello, this is your DM here. DM obviously stands for Dang It, Michael. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? You're not voting for it? Crazy. What? You don't want to graduate? Anyway, thanks so much for listening to this episode of You Might Be Wondering How We Got Here. If you like what we do and you want to see more stuff that we do, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at YMBW Podcast. And if you really like what we do and you want to get your name read in the show or your gamer tag or whatever you want to put on there, go ahead and rate us 5 stars on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. And or go ahead and tweet about the show using the hashtag YMBW, and we'll put your name in the show. We have wrapped on the actual recording of season 1. So unfortunately, we're not doing any names, but we're doing another season of something very interesting coming up. So there might be a couple chances for names there. And we also have a couple of interesting projects coming up. So keep a lookout for that on our Instagram and Twitter, and keep sharing the show using the hashtag YMBW. Yeah, that's all we have for this week. If you like what we do, you can also donate to our coffee, ko-fi/YMBW podcast. And you can toss us a couple bucks if you think we deserve it. That's all we have for this week. Keep your eyes on that Instagram and Twitter. Again, if you're not following us, please do, because we're also tweeting out the spicy memes. But yeah, that's all we have for this week. So catch us on the rest of this episode. Ooh, spooky. Wes, let's go ahead and make an initial investigation check for your
I mean,
readings
it's a big
in
book.
the.
I assume that this is the
You
time.
have 7 days.
I assume the initial investigation check, I assume I'll make multiple as I read the book. It's probably not going to read it all in one sitting. I'm reading it between now and us doing the meeting. So, like, between talking to Michael and the meeting. So, like, get, 60, 70 pages, however many pages in.
Yep. Go ahead and.
Can I use a reroll?
Wild magic reroll? Sure.
Yeah. Because I did, in fact, roll a 2.
Yep.
Oh, well, it's even better. It's a 5.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Or is that only on attack?
I actually don't know. I could add that. Hang on, give me a
You
second.
also have your luck ability.
Any ability checks, yeah, I can use it. I'll use that. I'll add a D4 to that. That's a 4, so that's pretty good. So now it's a 9.
And you have 0 intelligence, right?
Yeah.
That's
All right.
that's sad.
Well,
Are you
okay.
gonna take it or are you gonna roll luck? Because I can give you the thing. Or
I'm gonna roll
you
luck.
can
It
try to
has
roll.
it's been 3 days since I've used my luckier feature, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, it's a 2 + 1, 3. So
3. Okay.
nothing
So you're
else.
just gonna
You're
get
in the
the
office
nine.
with
It's
me,
just
right?
a 9.
It's just a 9, pretty much. And you mark off your luckier feature. You can't use it for 3 days. You are reading through this. There's just a lot of information. It's all. First of all, when you open the book, it's all handwritten,
Oh.
which is interesting.
no.
It seems like it was all written by Llama, or at least transcribed by Llama. And you begin kind of palming through it. There's a lot of just information that you can't really parse necessarily. Like just a lot of like it's trying to delineate the line between Phaetonians and Outlanders and what that means. And it's also trying to kind of contemplate the origins of the Outlands and the Outlanders. And there's one. Can I give this to you? Yes, I will give this to you because it's kind of the running theme of this kind of book is there's a running theory that the Outlands isn't just one place, that it could be multiple places that are just beyond the reaches of Phaeton and Gaia, almost like an alternate dimension or world or some kind of plane that is outside of the Outlands. But and this is kind of something that's been since the Outlands known thing, but there is one commonality that kind of supports these different worlds, and that's whenever we tell a story about something, it appears in the Outlands and therefore could appear in our world. And that is the only thing you kind of glean from this book so far. Cash.
Cash money.
Yeah. You are heading to Jack's office. He said he wanted to speak with you just a little bit about the whole deal. You go to his office and you walk past his very brash assistant. Kind of you walk in and he kind of goes, Cash, how's it going?
Oh, I should probably mention that the dog is with me all the time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
he's less phased by the dog just because he's been with it for so long.
Yeah.
But he goes, how are you doing?
I think I'm doing fine. I had mentioned to my team that I was gonna take a step back, take a little break.
Yeah, I
At
was
least
going to
for a little
mention
while.
a little birdie told me that you are taking a break or retiring or something along those lines.
Not retiring so much in terms, because I still have quite a bit to do with SWAT. Yeah, take a step back. I mean, I'll still do missions and paperwork and all that, but in terms of going to physical missions, depending on threat, I don't think that I'm physically fit to do so. Just until I get my strength back up and
Yeah,
get this
that's
leg working.
I was kind of gonna recommend it. Your soul seems to have taken a bit of a beating from whatever happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
So take it a bit easier. I've already notified the council.
Yeah.
So just go out there, recover some of your spirit, your soul, whatever you want to call it. Just be ready, Cash.
Yeah.
Make an insight check.
Oh my, alright. Insight check. But that's a natural 20.
Oh boy, howdy. Okay.
Yo, Nelson's dice are sexy as hell.
Cash learned how to read people while he was in isolation.
You can tell he's contemplating. He's kind of like flipping back and forth in his mind of telling you something. Yeah, you can kind of tell he's kind of holding something back from you that he kind of wants to tell you.
Everything okay, Mr. Fisher?
Yeah. Cash, do you ever wonder why you've been through what you've been through? Why you've experienced what you've experienced?
Probably because I deserve it.
Not not the consequences of your actions, but the setting up, the beginning of the domino that began this domino effect. Have you ever thought about why?
I'm not sure I know which domino you're talking about.
All of them, every one that's kind of been laid in a row to bring you to where you are now.
I don't know if it's...
I don't think you or Wes or Julie kind of understand the unique position you guys are in. I don't meet with my students as much as I meet with you. And sure, Wes was Michael's ward, but for a while, even Michael is a full-time council member.
Oh, well...
Not...
I mean, if we're bothering the council, we can...
No, I'm saying you don't... No one in SWAT, I would say, aside from the other council members and our direct trainees that we're teaching, don't get this kind of FaceTime with council members.
Oh.
Amber, too, she has no connection to any of you all, but she has made herself readily available to chat with Julie. He kind of takes another moment to kind of wrestle with what he's saying, and he's kind of thinking to himself, and he goes, Cash, promise me you won't mention this to your other guys.
Okay.
Okay, what I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't think on too hard, but it's important to understand why you're here, why we're all working together in this. The seer had one last vision before he lost his mind.
Oh, okay.
It was encoded and vague and all that stuff that divination people want to do, but there was no one to interpret it this time because he was losing it. But what he saw has been a debate amongst the council for a long time, and I am starting to see what the picture could hold, Cash. He envisioned an impending black cloud threatening to swallow up everything, everyone, all, Cash. But the only thing stopping it, the only thing that kept this cloud at bay were 3 beacons. The 2-pronged spirit, the weapon-souled leader, and the turbulent half-breed. A lot of people have written off his last words as delusions, and they think he's gone senile already by this point. But we on the council have been debating this for a very long time. And not all of us, but a few of us have come to the realization that you 3 may be these beacons. We're not sure how or why, but I truly believe you 3 mean something to this world, to this story that we're telling, whatever it means. And this is why you've had our support this entire time.
Why us? We're idiots. We haven't succeeded at one thing the entire time we've been here.
That may be true, Cash, but also you guys have been put in the most bizarre situations SWAT has ever seen.
This is the Society for the Weird and Terrifying.
This is more weird and more terrifying than I think SWAT is used to.
Jeez.
How is it, Cash, that your first mission given by the divination chair in a mumbling that was then approved by Amber sent you on a mission to a plant that was going to be destroyed? How is it that Michael sends you all to Kansas City to avoid the Reaper, and you somehow end up meeting the Reaper face to face, and your companions end up getting transported to a world in Phaeton that we thought was lost? And how is it that you 3 managed to steal the Mona Lisa only for it to become a fake, but not enrage the wrath of the fairy? Something's up, Cash. and I'm not sure what it is. But what I'm telling you is use this time to gain your strength. Use this time to ready yourself, Cash. Because when the moment comes, we're going to need you.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot to digest. I'll try to be better, I guess.
It's not being better, Cash. I just need you to be you. Whatever that means. And look into your soul. Not just like meditatively, but there's something up there. And when we were in the Astral Sea, one of Nelson's soul beads split into two.
Yeah. Something that I think Julie had mentioned, that it's probably because my leg is missing in the astral plane. That's probably the piece that was elsewhere.
Yeah, that's not a normal thing, Cash, and that kind of spells out why you've been haunted by Josing Saija this entire time. Your soul was in imprisonment, down with the worst of the worst spirits. I don't know if you even know what your soul has done or why it's like that, but it might be worth looking into.
Okay.
But there's a lot going on right now, and I don't want to put it all on you. You need time to rest and recuperate, so I'll leave you to you and your lady friend.
God.
At this, Suwon kind of whimpers. He needs to go to the bathroom, and Jack's like, make sure that thing doesn't pee in.
All right, I scoop up the dog.
Yeah.
And give him some head scritches and head out. Thanks, Mr. Fisher.
All right, see ya, Cash. Julie, you wanted to do something real quick.
Yeah, who were the chairs that helped us out? Who gave us those items that we needed to retrieve?
The Mona Lisa?
Nelson.
Oh.
No, Nelson.
It was
all the others left in the spirit realm, I guess. So Nelson, Cash, Kumi.
Yeah, it was the transmutation chair gave you the soul needle, which I'm assuming Nelson gave back by now, or Jack. I think Jack had it last.
Yeah.
Jack would have given it back. And then the tuning fork from the conjuration chair.
Okay. Can I send them each gift baskets, please?
Yeah. What kind of, fruit baskets or gift? What kind?
Yeah. Just assorted stuff, maybe there's chocolate in it too.
Okay. Just mark off $20 for each, $40 in total.
Fantastic.
And are you sending these anonymously, or are you sending them with your name specifically to thank them?
Yeah, with my name, because I was the one who had gone to them with those asks.
Okay, cool. There is a knock on your door, Julie. It's about the end of the day, and you're about ready to go home. You're just packing up, and there's a knock on your office.
Wasn't I going to stay late to have a meeting with people?
Yeah, but you're packing up. You're ending your work.
Okay, so Wes is in the office, right?
I'm down the hall. I'm in my little hole.
His own area. It's not necessarily halls. It's 3 different blocks you guys have, essentially.
Like those big plastic divider things. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. However you want to imagine it. It's just 3 separate offices. It's not necessarily long halls or anything. But yes. Yeah, Wes is in your office, but you have a knock at your kind of side thing.
Okay.
You hear a voice, is this Julie Davenport?
Yes. I'm going to go to the door now.
Hi, I am Captain J.P. Jameson. I'm one of the prison wards over at the holding.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
There's this one woman. She's been...
Old woman?
Yeah, she's been...
knits a lot?
Yes,
I know her.
She's an outlander, but she's been kind of not senile, but she's been very peaceful and has not done... So she has a lot of rights as far as the prison. She's been here for a few years now, so she's pretty close to the forefront as far as outlanders go. She's been requesting you for a long time, and I kind of am doing her a favor to also get her to shut up. I was wondering if you'd be interested in hearing what
No, not right now. I have more things to worry about.
he goes. She specifically asked me to ask you how Gwendolyn is doing. And you take a minute to kind of like think, like
I say a string of expletives directed at Lacuna.
Well, before you say that, you kind of have a moment to think, and you think about it for a second, and that name kind of rings a bell for some reason, and you kind of think on it for a second. That's the name of your imaginary friend from when you were a child. He says, I don't know what that means.
It means that she's violated, I assume, the terms of her prison sentence and has interfered with humans on Gaia.
What?
Can you put her in a more restrictive cell?
Yes, right away. What happened?
She's been antagonizing me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. Oh, okay. Yes, of course.
I recommend soundproofing it.
Okay. All right. And he storms off in a hurry.
I go to Wes. Wes, what do you know about possession?
I don't know. What do I know about possession?
Make an
Roll for
arcana check.
That's a 3 + 4, 7. I say
very
that's
little.
more of a holy caster thing. I mean, if you want to talk
What
about
kind of-
mind control, I might know a little bit more. But possession, I mean,
Who would know about possession?
I don't know. You could probably ask Llama. He just knows a lot in general about a lot of things. But also, are there clerics in SWAT, like not Scarlet clerics?
Yeah, there are other medical clerics. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could go talk to one of the clerics. They probably one of the higher levels.
I've already tried an exorcism and it failed.
Julie, what? Wait,
so-
I'm sorry. What? What's happening?
Do you recall an old woman calling out to me in the prison blocks?
Briefly, I just assumed it was like weird Outlander power things trying to fuck with you.
Well, she knew my name.
Well, a lot of things can get names. That's not that difficult. If you have enough divination ability, I mean.
That would have been good to know. But anyway, I arranged a meeting with her.
Okay.
She gave me some cryptic information, insinuated I was an Outlander.
Okay. Why don't you write that down for me, and we'll add it to the list.
Okay. But she also seemed to be talking to someone that wasn't there
In her head. Okay.
in her head.
I mean, that's not unheard
as
of
soon as
to
the-
have a. Did it seem
As
as though
soon
she
as I
drew
left-
her power from this thing in her
I
head?
think she literally said I draw my power from it.
Okay, yeah, that's super not unheard of to have a sort of patron. There are multiple ways to gain magic. The easiest way is to sort of sell your soul for it.
Oh boy, okay. Well, as soon as I left, I started hearing a voice in my head.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Have you
Yeah.
talked to anybody about this specifically?
I went to Scarlet.
Did you tell her everything specifically, though? What happened?
How specific? I told her I met with a strange old woman and now I heard a voice in my head.
Okay.
She checked. She said there was nothing wrong. Said come back a few days later. So I went back the other night. She said she still couldn't find anything. We did an exorcism just in
No,
case.
I don't think you're possessed, Julie. I think you have a little hanger on. What is the voice saying?
I don't know. I don't usually listen to it.
Next time you hear it, you write down what it says and tell me. Got it?
Isn't that it? Oh, okay. Oh, shoot. I think I told someone else too.
Who?
I think I might have told Amber.
I sit back in my rolling chair and go, well, that one's on you. I'm not touching that with a 30-foot pole.
Yeah, neither am I. I mean, I already told you about the fact that turns out I'm not related to anyone here.
Oh, that's good, I guess. Is that good? I don't know.
So that then begs a question of why you saw what happened with my eyes when we were in the astral plane.
Yeah?
Yeah, when they lit up like headlights.
Well, I think that more boils down to you not having full control over your abilities yet.
But the question is, how did I get these abilities?
Well,
As far as we know, I am a normal human. There's nothing special about me. But then things keep happening like this. And now this Outlander comes and says that I'm the key to her return to some place called Faerun.
would I know anything about Faerun?
What did you roll for that check again?
The arcana. That was to know if I knew anything about possession.
That was possession.
No. For the book.
Oh, for the book, a 9.
Mm-hmm. A 9. Make me a history check.
16.
16. You think you have to go back and check in the book, but you think you heard of one instance of this name being read.
God, I need a Control F spell for this book. Can I make a Control F spell? Julie, see this book. I got it from Llama earlier about it's about Outlanders. They did Faerun.
Oh.
I remember seeing Faerun. It's somewhere in here.
Well, if you're looking into that, you know that Outlander that we keep running into, I suppose?
Yeah,
The wizard.
the game master.
Well,
Yes, there are a lot of wizards.
The wizard, yes. Well, he's the wizard. He doesn't like it when I call him that, so.
Oh, okay, I see. I'm more on board with it now.
When I spoke with Lacuna, she said she was transported here by an Outlander with a booming voice.
That does.
And yeah, and then she also said that she confirmed that I have encountered the same Outlander, and as far as I know, I have only encountered one Outlander.
All right. Well, that's certainly a clue. Look,
And I know Gutar said that the description of the Outlander, the change in color thing, sounded familiar, but he had never seen one.
okay, so why don't we go grab dinner real fast from the cafeteria or something, and then get Nelson, and then we'll come back here. I think this is something that can go on our big board of questions to answer.
Yeah.
And I think it might be better if we get Nelson involved as soon as possible, because he's going to have to know all this stuff. And between you and me, he's way smarter than both of us. So maybe I think he'll probably be able to put it together.
Are you going to tell him about the Reaper?
I'm going to read the room. I think that's a game time decision. I think
Okay.
that's an important element in solving this puzzle. And I think Nelson's the best of the three of us at solving puzzles. We'll see. I think we'll see.
Got it. Let's go get food.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick before we get to that, Nelson,
Yo.
you are ecstatic. You run to Jack. Jack kind of goes, yeah, we really think you would be an asset to that team. I've heard from the grapevine that Cash might be taking a break. That team could really use some help, Nelson. I mean, it's going to be a little weird having a 4-man team, but...
Well, so Cash had mentioned that he was thinking about taking a break while he sort of gets his bearings.
Oh?
Yeah, and I don't know if he meant that as like a permanent solution or if it was just going to be for now. Or just like temporarily. Just while his leg gets all patched up. Or something like that.
Okay. I understand. Well, regardless, Wes and Julie, you work pretty well with them, and they could use your help.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, the council is working on rectifying it. I honestly, again, I think you should probably be in the terrors unit, but I
Just over the
don't
table. What is that again?
make a history check. Nelson
That's a
probably
natural
would
20.
know.
Holy
Oh my
fucking
god,
shit.
Jesus Christ! Yes, Nelson knows what the terrors are. They are the elite task force of the Society of the Weird Terrifying, only used for the most dangerous and important missions.
Let's put the 17-year-old on that.
If you think, if you were a Naruto watcher, the Anbu Black Ops kind of.
I've never seen it, so I'm going to pretend like I know what that means.
Yes, very, very important squadron of highly trained magi and fighter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Cool. All right. Radical.
He goes, but honestly, I think a graduated investigator would suit you well. I know your father has some holdings against you being with us, but
yeah, well, he always does, so that's nothing new.
Well, he worries about you, and I can't fault him for it.
Yeah.
You are young, but talented.
I mean, I'm not going to deny either of those, so...
Yeah, I would let your father know, and then, welcome aboard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really exciting. Thank you very much.
You head off to tell your father.
Yup.
Your father is working in the lab. He's actually he's tinkering with a new kind of elixir. He's trying to replicate a spell that he's seen a couple of people do in the past, and he's just trying to make sure it's perfected, right? And he goes, Nelson, how are you? How's it going?
Good.
How was that meeting?
Good.
I wasn't able to make it.
It was good, yeah. I got some news for you, Dad.
Oh?
I have been asked to join the recently graduated investigations team. Eh?
Wait, what? And he actually kind of knocks over a beaker, and the potion kind of spatters to the ground, and you see it starting to melt through the ground and also catch on fire,
sorry,
and also like it's a very chromatic potion that he's kind of just dropped and spilled everywhere. He says, "I'll clean that up later."
Sorry, Dad.
What are you saying? First of all, they graduated. They graduated that group of troublemakers.
Well, hey, that's my team now.
Those rapscallions.
And that second part, you are. I will not let you join that team.
What? Why not, Dad? I mean, we worked perfectly fine together the last time we were on mission.
Without my permission, thank you very much. And also, that's so dangerous. I'm not gonna have you.
It's not like it's a strike team, Dad. Jack said that I could join the terrors if I really wanted to. Well, I mean, if
that's of course
me.
Out of the question. You are a 17-year-old boy. And I am not. Nelson, do you remember that accident you had?
Yeah, Dad, I remember, and I've been
whose fault was it? It was mine.
It wasn't your fault, Dad.
It was my fault, and it could have been a lot worse than it was, but the fact of the matter is, I'm not gonna lose my only boy.
I'm gonna be fine, Dad. You know I can do it. You're just being stubborn.
I'm not being stubborn. I'm being careful.
Sounds like the same thing to me.
Look, you've been doing great in school. You've excelled. You've been doing great in your studies here.
Dad,
why don't you just stay at
doctorate programs? I think I can afford to live a little.
Why don't you just stay being an artificer, help her out around here, and helping the SWAT shop like you've been doing? I don't see why you need to go out and put yourself in harm's way.
How am I supposed to know what people need if I don't know what kind of missions they're on? I mean, Dad, the stuff I'm putting together right now, it's dinky. It's stuff that I put together years ago. I can do so much better. I just need to know what people need.
Nelson, Listen, if you're going to be going out and helping these hooligans, I'm going to need you to keep close contact with me. I don't want you going off the grid.
Okay, it was the one time. I will let you know when I'm going on missions in the future.
I'm going to need to approve them and make sure that it's safe for you and all that, because this is a lot for me, even as your father.
I mean, you can talk to the council and you can talk to the investigations team, I guess. I mean, come on, Dad, this is a big deal. It's a big deal for me.
I know it's a big deal, but you're my son, and I don't want to lose you.
You're not gonna lose me, Dad.
All right, just it's dangerous out there. I'm gonna make sure that you're gonna have to be geared up and all that, and
Oh, I know that.
It doesn't help that the council and the society's all riled up because the Reaper's still out there, and we could have had him, and whatever. You know. That Reaper's a menace, and I don't want you getting caught up with that mess either. And something tells me that this group right here is a Reaper magnet.
Well, I mean, if anyone's gonna catch him, it's gonna be us. And how great would that be, huh?
I don't want you to encounter. That's rule number 1 right here. If you ever encounter the Reaper, you do not engage. You get away as fast as possible, and then you get to me as quick as possible.
Let me just take out my notebook here, start writing down the laundry list of rules.
Oh, I got plenty more. Don't you be a smart ass around me. Now, listen. I'm going to give you permission to do this, but you got to promise me to the end of your days that you will be careful.
Oh, Dad, thank you, thank you.
He kind of reluctantly gives you a hug and goes, I'm still going to need to approve your missions and, make sure that you're still being as safe as you can be.
All right, fine.
He's like, all right, you go, I guess, get your little office digs, whatever they're going to give you.
Imagine I got my own
Get
office.
out of my hair.
All right, I'm fine. All right, I'm out. I love you, bye.
Love you too, Sue. And you walk away. It's later that day, and Wes, you have called this meeting between you 3.
Yes, it is later, ideally.
Like, what time are you thinking?
Like 10 or like
People usually leave.
like the only people in the building are janitors late.
Well, I mean, there's still the dormitory. People still live in this building.
Yeah, no one who isn't living in SWAT is there. That's,
Okay. Gotcha.
And even then, the people who are living there are mostly asleep, I'd imagine. Like,
Yeah.
late-ish.
Okay. So you have called this meeting. Jack and Michael cannot make it. They are so busy with the different things the council has been preparing and kind of dealing with the ramifications of all of the information you have brought to them.
Yeah. I go over to our main office door. I sit everyone at our like main table in the and
in the middle.
I assume we have a big whiteboard probably. And I go over to the main door. I lock it, pull the shades.
Is there any way you can make sure we can't be overheard?
Not really. Not gonna lie.
Nelson?
No, not really. I'm normally
Okay,
the one
so-
making noise, so.
Let's keep this
Yeah,
calm.
Just no voices raised. I go up to the whiteboard and I write at the top of it, I write questions. Look, Nelson, we're going to try and get you caught up on sort of what's been happening and what we know, because we think you're sort of a valuable asset to us and we look forward to working with you. But there's some shady shit happening and it's time we got to the bottom of it. Well, I guess my goal for this meeting tonight was to establish what we don't know. You know, I think there's so many pieces to this, Julie, that we just
It's almost impossible to know where to
it's
begin.
all exactly. So what we need to do.
Are we going to say, sorry, for the sake of this, are we going to say that Cash told you all of the stuff that he encountered during his kind of split off point?
I mean, Cash technically was invited to this, but maybe he just sent us a list or whatever Olivia wants to do for Cash.
I mean, he can be there. I mean, he lives
Okay,
there.
so Cash is here.
Yeah.
Cash is there as well then.
Yeah, maybe Cash isn't on the mission, so we can still help out.
Yeah.
So before we get started, well, order events. 1, we got to start catching Nelson up, and I assume we'll forget about the big things for Nelson, but we'll forget about some of the things.
Nelson, you still have questions to ask us, don't you?
I got one, but I'm saving it for something really good.
Okay. Shit. Well, before we start listing out all the things we don't know, we got to catch Nelson up with what we do know and kind of some of the stuff that's been happening to us.
Okay, so how about this? Ever since we got here, we've been sent on missions without being prepared for what we were going to face.
We've encountered Outlanders literally every time we've gone out, even on routine investigation stuff. It's uncanny. There's been a distinct lack of information. When we stole the Mona Lisa.
Oh,
What?
Oh,
Is that what y'all
okay. You
I
are
thought we'd
sworn to
already told him.
secrecy from now on, Nelson.
I thought we'd already told him.
You understand?
No,
Nelson.
I didn't know.
You know what, Nelson? Shit, sorry, I thought you already knew. Nelson, here's the deal. What you're going to hear tonight, you can't tell anybody. Can't tell your dad. Can't tell. Oh, you can tell Jack and Michael. You can only tell Jack and Michael, and that's it. That's it. Look at me. Zip lip. I will find you, Nelson, if you tell anybody. You got that?
None of the other chairs. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Not even the other chairs.
Okay. I promise.
Basically,
We stole
the Mona Lisa.
Wes stole the
I
Mona
stole
Lisa.
the Mona Lisa. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's a whole story. I'll tell you about it sometime.
That might have been the only event where we didn't,
Encounter an
as
Outlander.
far as I know, we didn't an Outlander.
And then we did, yeah. Actually, it is.
Well, there was that giant statue, which I'm sure was.
It was just a defense
But
mechanism.
was that like a, yeah.
I think that was,
Because as soon as we left the boundary, it turned back.
yeah, it's,
Oh, that's right.
yeah, it was tied to something. That's how constructs work that are that powerful. They have to be connected to something. They can't just be free roaming. But look, we stole the Mona Lisa. We had it verified. We gave it to the council to verify it, and they said it was real. So whoever they gave it to, and it wasn't. And that's how we ended up in the Fae Queen's
Were
prison.
you at the hearing?
Yeah, he was at the hearing.
Yeah, I was there.
Well,
Yeah.
so you heard everything we said about the events is true.
Yeah.
And there are smaller pieces to this puzzle that we'll get to tonight that you'll have to just get as we go. But that's one of the big things is Julie, Cash, jump in if you need to. But the big things are Mona Lisa not being verified properly, distinct lack of communication, Outlanders appearing everywhere.
I'm going to glance at Wes and I'm going to say, Kansas City? Should we?
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, that was when Cash saw the Reaper for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but
there's
Wes
something
and I
else,
were at
a different place.
Wes and I were at a different location that we can't speak about.
Yeah, that's classified. Look, I don't think that has anything to do with.
But we encountered the Outlander in
this
other place.
Yeah.
It's an Outlander that has been following me. That was actually the third time I have encountered it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Nelson. Also, Cash, I guess. I don't know if I've told you. I guess you died. You were dead when I found out. I sit down. I pull a chair
are
open.
you sure?
I go, Julie, it's too big of a puzzle piece to not tell them. How are we going to figure shit out with our guy? We're already not going to tell them about Kansas City. I mean, it's...
Well, that's because the exact details of where we are are unimportant. This is...
important to the play. Yeah, the details of Kansas City are unimportant. The details of this is very important.
Okay.
Okay.
Cash, I got my memories back.
Whoa, wait. And I thought they said it would kill you.
Apparently it got close.
Yeah, I saw it and it wasn't pretty.
Oh, God. Okay, so what do you remember?
Okay, so I want you both to take a deep breath. Nelson and Cash, take a deep breath and just calm. Remember, we need to keep this
Do not
quiet.
shout.
Don't shout. We need to keep it
Do
quiet.
not shout.
Keep it quiet. Shh. Hush. Shh. There could be people right outside who want to... Can't know.
Okay,
The council knows. This is something the council knows.
Well, we don't know how many of them, right?
I think we know the whole council
but
knows.
what is this big
I asked
deal?
Michael.
Are you sure? Oh, okay.
Do you want the weird one or the weirder one?
I mean, go in order.
Shit, they're kind of the same thing. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. My dad's an Outlander and my mom's the Reaper. Shh.
Quiet.
Shh.
Cash throws his hands over Nelson's mouth.
Thank you, Cash. There's another minor detail here is that the Reaper is a former chairperson.
Wait,
The
seriously?
former chair of conjuration.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
So the Reaper is your mother, your father's an Outlander? How does that...
So essentially what happened, from what I gather, I was a kid. I don't have full knowledge of the event. I haven't talked to Michael much about the details because I don't want to.
Wait, so Michael knew about it.
Yeah, he's kind of the
and-
one who ruined my whole life. It's fine.
Oh, Wes.
She was the conjuration chair, and my father was an Outlander, and the council found out. about my father being an Outlander is kind of a secret. And I wasn't used as a chaos conduit. This power I have is just powers. I have a combination of the chaos of the Outlands and my mother's magic.
So you're an Outlander?
I
Kind of,
guess.
sort of?
Like a demi Outlander, I guess. They tried to escape my parents with me to the Outlands, but SWAT sort of crashed that and took them. O'Neill, do I know? I'm forgetting this detail. Did my dad he got banished back to the Outlands? He fell through the portal?
He fell through the portal that you had opened.
Okay, yeah. So my dad fell through the portal and my mother was captured. I don't know how she escaped. Clearly the prison system here is excellent, as proved by Julie's thing
That's
that we'll get to
another-
another thing that you gotta
Jesus.
but and Michael's last name is Barrett. That's why he doesn't have a last name.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Wait, so he's your...
Oh, that's right. I forgot to end. Oh yeah, he's my uncle. Mhm.
Oh my god. You're dead for 4 days, and then suddenly all this comes out. What the hell?
I mean, to be fair, Cash, you were locked in a basement of a dragon with a vampire. Like, it's not like we all have our things.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay.
I
Oof.
will answer questions if you have them.
I think that's everything. You outlined it pretty clearly. Wow. Okay. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, a little bit.
So, beyond the council and Julie, you two are the only other people who know this. Do not tell anybody else about this. Got it?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cross my heart.
How is Nelson feeling about this information now that...
I think he's just sort of sitting. And again, he doesn't know these people terribly well.
And now that the fact that he kind of found out that the Reaper is Wes's mother.
I think he's just trying to sit and analyze, put everything through his noggin.
Gotcha.
What he's doing. I don't know if he knows how to react just yet.
I suppose I have a minor contribution to the overarching story, which is my adoptive father was a part of SWAT for a time.
Oh.
Your stepfather, not adoptive father, but yeah.
Well, kind of both, wasn't it?
No, your mother is still your real mother. She married your father.
Oh, shoot, you're right. Sorry, I went and read that the wrong way.
So you found out that your dad was in SWAT, but he's not actually your dad. He's your stepdad, but he's the one that raised you, and you have a dad who... Was he a part of SWAT?
I'm really bad at the SWAT database, so
Was your mom part of SWAT?
I don't think so, because if she was, she'd be able to tell me.
Would she? Maybe she's had her memories tampered with, too.
Well, she's very ill right now, so I don't want to...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, she doesn't have much longer, so...
Oh.
If we need to ask her something, we have to do it sooner rather than later.
Julie, holy shit.
Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow, okay, all right. We got oh boy, what a bunch of sad sacks we are, huh?
Yep. So, Nelson, I'm sorry to spring all this on you when you've just joined the team, but you deserve to know the full picture.
It's one of those, getting to know you activities.
Oh, yeah. Michael also, I think, insinuated to Wes that we shouldn't necessarily trust everyone in SWAT.
Oh, okay.
Right, Wes?
Yeah, Michael told me the other day that there's something going on. There's something more than our fears are true.
We knew that from the plan onward.
Yeah.
I know this is a lot to dump on you right now, Nelson, and I'm sorry, but if you're going to work with us, you got to know this stuff. And
yeah, okay, yeah, I'm just learning the backstory.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys taking the time to tell me everything.
Okay, so here's where we start with this. What do we not know? Questions. I
We
go up
don't
to
know
the
what
board.
happened to Pawpaw.
What do you mean what happened to Papa? I thought he just got old.
Well, he used to be coherent.
Okay, sure. I write on the board what
Here,
happened.
let me remember what Amber said. He said he lost his mind.
Hang on, let me get a Google Doc going.
Yeah. No, please don't. I don't want to touch technology if I can help it right now. I've had a long day. Okay.
I meant out of.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Oh my god. That was so fucking funny.
Oh, right, Nelson. So I just said my stepfather is part of SWAT. He was also the great-great-grandson of Pawpaw.
Oh my god.
But right now it seems like I don't have a blood relation right now. I have a familial relationship, I suppose, through my stepfather, but he never introduced me or talked about SWAT at all. So I have been on my own. It's not like I don't have someone like Michael that Wes does.
Well,
Yes, so I attempted to talk to a few people about. So my father died in an accident. So I was trying to learn more about that. I first approached, I believe, Chairman Ethan
okay.
of Conjuration,
Mm-hmm.
and he began seizing.
Oh, was it a psychic seizure?
Yes.
Oof. Yikes. Those aren't pretty.
So I don't know if he's had the memories related to my father removed or if there's something else blocking them. But
Hey, so Julie, I just figured now would probably be a good time to do it. We were in the astral plane.
yes.
And it may have come up when we were looking for a boat to get to a Shelderon's manor. The name Matthew Davenport may have been said in relation to an astral pirate. So I have
That's
been trying to
interesting.
find a good time to do it. I don't know if, it's not the most
this
uncommon
is-
name, but it seems pretty coincidental.
If he needs me, he'll find me.
Okay,
For now, I think we have to worry about our own lives.
that's fair. All right, so
So I went to speak to Pawpaw after, and first of all, he called me by my spirit avatar's name.
Oh.
Oh, that's another thing, Nelson. Apparently our spirit avatars were the founders of SWAT.
Sweet mother of God. Sweet mother. Or what? Okay.
Nelson, have you been to the spirit realm before?
I don't think he has. I don't think
Okay.
his dad would have let him.
That's information. That's I hadn't written either way, so.
Yeah, I don't think he ever has. Wow, okay, so y'all are inherently tied to SWAT.
Yes, for better or worse.
Oh man, I think Cash is shifting around a little bit.
Cash?
yeah, insight check.
Insight check! That's a 19 against Cash.
Man, let me
Oh,
roll
shit.
deception.
I rolled an 18 versus Cash.
Come on, Nelson!
We can read you like a book, motherfucker.
You rolled a 15.
Yeah, Cash, are you lying? What are you hiding? Not
What-
necessarily what are you hiding, but you said you're uncomfortable.
What Jack told me earlier.
Ah,
about
yes, okay.
Beacons. Yeah.
Okay. You two can act on this information that Cash
Cash,
is
we've
hiding
just told
something.
you everything.
Hey, Cash, you got
Pretty
something
much.
to tell us?
I told Jack that I wouldn't tell anybody what he told me, but I think if we're doing this sort of thing, it needs to be brought up.
Okay.
So, Jack was telling me that before Papa kind of lost it, he had a final vision. And that vision foretold a black, dark cloud passing over the world. And there were 3 beacons that were in that fight against the darkness. And that was he thinks it's us. He thinks it's the 3 of us.
Oh. Okay.
He said something about a 2-part soul and a spirit and a turbulent half, something like that. So he thinks that we are somehow, I guess, destined to, or fated to save the world. The world or SWAT or something from some powerful, I don't know, evil. It sounds crazy. It sounds like it came out of a Token novel.
I mean, we're kind of sitting in the middle of one, Cash. I know you guys are new to this, but I mean, Token's world does exist somewhere in the Outlands, so.
Oh boy.
We've been to weirder places.
Yeah. So I guess that's something. I guess we were the founders of SWAT, and it looks like to an extent we are going
Hopefully
to
we'll
carry
end
on
it.
that legacy.
Okay. Well, that's useful. I've put it on the board. Next, other questions, big questions, major questions. SWAT with SWAT, the Mona Lisa. That's a big one. We have to figure out
How did the swap happen?
Yeah.
how the Mona Lisa
was
gets
it always
swapped.
Well, unless
And in relation,
unless-
what is the Reaper's relation to the Fae Queen?
would we be able to
have Nelson real quick roll an intelligence check, just
Okay.
up and down intelligence.
22.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ. Okay,
Let's go. Finally.
Nelson just knows that there's only two possibilities for the Mona Lisa. It was either a fake all along, and whoever confirmed it did a bad job or lied, or it got swapped when it was being confirmed. One of the two.
I share that information.
I'm just saying those are the two options you guys could investigate.
So who was the one who confirmed it? It was one of the three chairs, was it not? That gave us a mission.
We don't know who confirmed it. It has
No,
been
like
told
it
to us.
didn't. I don't think it left our site, did it? We like handed it to the three chairs who were with us. They said, "Yup, that's real," and they gave it back to us. And then we like almost immediately went to the Fae Queen.
So
The big thing about the
didn't know it was real.
well, we have to figure out who did. Somebody checked it, right?
What do you mean?
Yes, we handed it to them, and they said they checked it.
So we need to figure out who
I
checked.
believe
it.
they did.
That's what we need to figure out.
So I've just looked in my notes here. They refused to take it away from your possession. They wanted to swap hands as least as possible. Jack checked it. He was able to discern that it was a real painting, but he had never actually seen or touched the Mona Lisa, so could not identify it past that.
So it could have been
obviously.
fake from the start then. I mean, the real one, we did see the real one. It was in the Fae Queen's vault.
Yeah, Cash, you saw that kind of the
Didn't
same
someone
aura
take
that
it
coming
too?
from the statue was also coming from the Mona Lisa.
Oh crap! And we left it there.
That's how you were able to tell. Like from Cash's kind of dealings, whenever you see these kind of auras around things.
I thought we brought
these
one
have Mona Lisa.
back.
No, I think we
Did you?
just I think it was
I
like
think you
we
just
were
kinda
kind
jumped.
of in a hurry, considering Cash had
Okay.
just died.
I will double check
So-
the recordings and find out. But yeah.
I'm nearly positive someone was carrying at least a fake Mona Lisa.
I think Cash grabs it at some point, but I
When
don't
we
think Cash would have
reunited?
kept it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're saying the Fae Queen already had the Mona Lisa. Does that mean that when we presented ours, she already knew it was a fake and was indulging us by having the person check it?
I don't know. Huh.
So this means either it was stolen before we got to the Louvre, or it was swapped as we handed it to be examined.
But what about
If the
just
Louvre had
for an
already
idea,
been
do we
burgled,
know who made the pocket hole?
it's one of those magic-y artifacts I have in that room.
Would I be able to figure that out?
I hand it over to Nelson to take a look at. Sure.
Are you going to cast Identify on it?
I don't have identify. I don't think.
I thought you had Identify. Yeah,
Yeah,
you-
artificers have it. I mean, you may have not prepared it that day, but
Radical.
Oh, because it's like a wizard thing.
yeah, you have to prepare spells as an
Yeah,
artificer.
That's right.
Piss. Well,
Okay, so you didn't bring. You
We'll
didn't bring
prepare
it.
it and examine it tomorrow.
oh, I can cast it as a ritual.
Ah, that's what it was.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, it just
Yep,
takes
yep,
like
yep,
10
yep,
minutes to do it instead of 1 minute.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sit with it and try to figure out if somebody could have been able to open the pocket hole or the pocket dimension while Wes had it in his possession, was able to open it from a different like doorway, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. You cast Identify on this object. It works, which means it's not. It works like fine, so it's not an outlandish. It's not a completely outlandish item. It could have been affected by an outlander, and that's why it was kind of holed up for a while. But it is fine for now. You kind of cast Identify on it. It's similar to a bag of holding in pretty much every manner, except for you can use it. It's a bigger kind of hole of a bag of holding, so it can hold different things and hold more. The only way somebody could access it is if they plane shifted into that, because it works as a demi-plane. So they would have to plane shift into it.
Who do we know who can plane shift?
The only person besides, like the only person that would reasonably be able to, without like special help, would be the Conjuration Chair, and then his underlings, like his highest ranks of underlings, probably have plane shift as well.
We could ask one of them to test how difficult it is. We could say we stored the artifact in there and ask
that's
them how
another thing.
difficult it is.
Make an Arcana check, Wes and Nelson.
18.
Fuck. 16.
16. Wes, you are able to you kind of think back, especially because your kind of ties to conjuration. You're able to tie back. You would have to get a tuning fork attuned to that specific demiplane. It would be kind of hard to steal directly out of that pocket dimension.
Yeah, it would
It's usually
take a
just
heist.
hard to steal out of
I
pocket
say
dimensions
that.
in general.
Look, guys, it would take a heist in and of itself to get the Mona Lisa out of the. It would be some sleight of hand to get it out of my possession and get a tuning fork to attune specifically to inside the hole, and then, it's not that wouldn't be an easy job.
All right, so what else do we know?
Okay. Well, I guess the question is, what else do we not know, and then tie everything we know into that. So, Julie, do you want to add? I mean, I added to the board, what's the Reaper's relation to the Fae Queen? The Fae Queen owed some sort of debt for finding her daughter. The dowsing rod was destroyed. What did the Reaper get? What debt? It seemed as though the Fae Queen had paid some sort of debt to the Reaper, but why was she in prison? I think that's a pretty big one.
So, speaking of people we may or may not trust.
Uh-huh.
Kind of weird that Jeff decided to graduate us, huh?
Jeff
Bezos.
Oh,
Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, huh?
And the enchantment chair.
Maybe not so weird. When we were in the Fae Queen's hoard, or when we were separated, I found a stack of papers with receipts from Jeff Bezos to the Fae Queen in return for tech from him. There were receipts from Jeff Bezos to the Fae Queen.
Yeah.
The Fae Queen was paying
Lord.
for technology from him, or Amazonian.
That means she owes SWAT a favor then, correct? Because they only deal in that.
I'm trying to remember what the payment was, but I think it was just invoices.
You weren't able to glean a lot from it just because of how receipty it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
you weren't
there's
able to
that.
glean a lot, but you were able to see the names Jeff Bezos, and like you were able to trace the arrows. That's pretty much all you were able to get from it.
Oh, but then... Oh, wait, so during the meeting, there was something going on between the enchantment chair and Bezos and council member Amber.
Amber?
Wait, I'm sorry, can you repeat? What?
Yeah, they were giving each other looks, and Amber was casting something.
You specifically do remember it was the message spell.
Yeah, she was casting message and whisper and all that other stuff to Bezos.
To Bezos.
And then there was something between Bezos and the enchantment chair. And there was something there. I mean, same thing with Michael and the enchantment chair.
When I was separated after we left the prison, I overheard the ambassador of the Dwarf King speaking to the assistant of the enchantment chair, and he told him that he was crazy.
Who
I-
told?
Wait, who told who was they were crazy? The dwarf told the other guy he was crazy?
I believe the dwarfish ambassador said to the assistant, he said, "You are crazy."
Told
So the enchantment chair's
assistant.
was perceived as being crazy by
the ambassador.
yes.
Huh. Well, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was
It
the
also
chair that's crazy.
I seem to remember also engaging in a somewhat political discussion about whether or not the terms of the pact between Gaia and Phaeton should be re-examined.
Oh, shit.
I take it they're not happy. Unfortunately, I'm not skilled at research through the SWAT database, so I was unable to get much more than the basics of this agreement when I attempted to look further into it.
Okay. Okay.
So another thing is, I'm not sure if I trust Amber.
I don't know if
Well,
I
I mean,
trust
now
anybody.
that she's
But her in particular, because she is the one who came in for the plant mission. Papa had a vision or something. He said in a coherent moment about the plant, and she is the one who authorized that mission.
Okay. Okay.
And now you're telling me she was secretly coordinating with the other chair members during the hearing.
I mean, I would say that that's what I thought it looked like, but I know
Did
for
you
a fact
see
that's
how
what she was doing.
how apathetic? That's the word.
Yeah.
She was drinking coffee, and that did not appear to help.
I mean, wasn't she also in the Arizona base somewhat recently?
She was for a time. I seem to.
All of
she
the council
maybe-
was in the Arizona base.
Michael. Oh, well, I do have another bit that I just remembered. Is Michael said that he doesn't think that it was that the Reaper. He doesn't think that the Reaper's done everything the Reaper's done. The motives are conflicting. Like the Arizona base doesn't seem. He doesn't think that was the Reaper.
Because you gave an account of the Reaper being in Kansas City, and then during the same times is when Llama got his book stolen. It's not impossible because she is the chair of conjuration, so she can teleport. But
former
it
chair.
doesn't necessarily make sense
You know what?
in
I'm
Michael's
putting
eyes, at least.
multiple Reapers question mark on the board.
That is a fair point, because when we encountered her in Phaeton, she didn't. Even when we were in that prison cell for God knows how long, just sitting there, she didn't say anything.
She also didn't recognize me, which feels very strange.
Yeah.
But she did recognize me a little bit when I accidentally fireballed myself. She was like, she had like a moment that was like, "Where'd you learn how to do that?" And I was like, I just kind of do that. And I don't know. You think she would recognize me? I don't know.
Nelson, do you want to make an intelligence check on that?
Please. That is a sexy 16. Can't do
16?
math.
You're not quite sure why the Reaper wouldn't have some kind of recognition unless literally Wes was wiped from her mind.
I bring up that point.
Shit, that's possible.
That Hall of Memories guys who spills everything when we go to him. Why don't we ask him?
Ooh, yeah. We should go talk to him.
Because he might not know the significance of your mother's name. He might not put two and two together. If we just say a name, he might not realize, oh, this is the former chairperson. He might just give us the information we want.
All right. So here's the deal. Do we have any more questions, points, theories before? Because the next step in this is our point of action. What are we working on in the next couple weeks before we're assigned to something again?
There's Lacuna.
Who's that?
Creepy old woman in the prison system who seems to know me. She also encountered the same Outlander that has been hounding me. And she's been messing with my mind, I'll say.
Oh.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, that's, well, we got a bunch of clues and no real question to answer. Other than what's going on in SWAT, and that could be any number of things.
I don't know what SWAT was like before, so I can't really tell how different it is, but
Well, that's something that we can ask. All right, so okay. So here's the deal. I point at the board. I have all the questions with like, it's questions and it's just sort of like free flowing thoughts about everything we've had. We need to pick something in here and we need to start because it's all related. I think if we just start digging into some of these questions, I think our answers for all the other ones might fall into place. We need to create create an
I want to
action
know what
plan.
Bezos is doing because I don't.
is it safe to approach him directly?
I mean, probably not.
Is he ever on the base or is he always away?
He's not. He's like the least available of the council members because he's also the CEO of Amazon.
I can only think of one council member who would talk to us, or me specifically, and luckily I have an invitation, and I hold up the letter from Amber.
Ew.
All right, well, here's the deal. We need to make these meetings happen every couple days. So, Cash, I know you're not really with us on the whole mission thing anymore, and you're welcome to go do your stuff. But, if you find anything out, feel free to let us know, please.
Yeah, you got it.
Kumi was at the, when we presented the Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
ask her what she thinks.
Yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea. Maybe she knows something.
And I ran into her when I think we got separated, so.
Oh,
all right.
And ask her about what else. That's another question. What that dragon is doing.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
Because we were getting blamed for that.
Yeah, and the conflict he was starting.
I hope I spelled that right. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We're each going to take a point this week, and we're going to start pulling threads while we're doing this training or whatever, while we have this bit of time in between our next mission. I have this. I pat the book I got from Llama. I got this book from Llama. It's more detailed information about the Outlands. I have a week to go over it. I'm going to try for a couple days and see if I can spot anything. And if I'm struggling, Nelson, I might give it to you. You might have better luck with the whole intelligence thing, but I'm going to try it, give it a go for another day or two before I give it to you. But
give yourself some credit.
Yeah, I'm not too smart. I'm not a moron. What are the strings we can start pulling? Julie, you can go talk to Amber if you
but
feeling
that's
up to it.
Another problem. I really do. First of all, I really don't want to.
I mean, I could go talk to her. I don't really know her that well, but I could try.
Maybe I should go talk to her. I at least know her. I don't know. Look, I feel like if I go in there and start, squeezing her balls about what was going on at the council, if I go in there and I'm like, hey, what was going on? We know you're casting message. She's gonna get defensive, and not that she won't do that.
And then the temperature in the room will start to heat, and there'll be fire.
And not that she wouldn't do that with you, Julie, but I feel like she probably would be a little bit more.
If I do
open.
it one more time, I think she'll hit me.
Oh right, maybe it'd be worse if you went in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you do have the letter.
Yeah, but the last time I wouldn't know if I would call it speaking. Last time she confronted me, she made a stone wall appear out of a wooden floor, and that really bothered me. I'm being honest. Okay.
All right. So, who'd we trust? Obviously, there's issues with Wes and Michael.
Look, I think we keep Michael and Jack in the loop, but at arm's length. That's honestly where I'm at right now.
Has there been another chair of conjuration between?
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Actually, that's an intelligence check. Sorry.
21.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know that there has been. You're just matching up timelines. The person who is currently the conjuration chair has been the conjuration chair for about as long as Wes has been kind of saying it's been since his mother was arrested, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh yeah. What's the? I think I would have looked into this. What's the public thing about what happened to my mother as the conjuration chair? Like, what did they tell the SWAT newspaper?
Died.
She died? Okay.
Actually, no, that's not true. She was defamed. She was defamed and jailed was the thing.
So does everyone know that she's the Reaper?
No.
Okay.
As far as the public knows, she is in jail.
Okay. Well, I guess that's our plan
Is
of
there
action.
a body?
Is there?
Would there be the current conjuration chair? Must have been a colleague of hers, don't you think?
That's something that we can definitely look into. I'll put it on.
And then the other thing is it the enchantment? What's his problem with us?
He just doesn't like me. I mean, it's been an antagonistic relationship, to say the least, since I was a kid.
Oh, you knew him when you were a kid?
He was rather against me living
Oh.
after the whole chaos thing.
Well, let's just put him on the list of people that we don't trust.
All right, so I have an action plan. It's talk to Amber. One of us has to do it, even if it pisses her off. We have to.
But who should it be?
Look, Julie, I think it should be you, but if you really
Oh,
don't
Lord.
want to, I'll go do it.
I'll do it. It's just she knows some information that I blurted out. And if we're not trusting her, that can get messy.
I mean, we got to start digging up dirt somehow.
Yeah, it's my mess to deal with. Don't worry about it.
We need to look into I think it'd be worthwhile to look into how the conjuration chair got his job. How was he the one selected, you know? I think that might be worthwhile.
That's if Nelson wants to make another history check, that's pretty public knowledge. Or if one of you wants to
Well,
make it,
I feel like there might be
probably
some
West, but if-
shady dealings.
Okay.
27.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, 27. That's
Nelson-
above a
Nelson
25.
has a
Yeah.
plus-
He's a
8 to
he's a council
Oh, he's a
fanboy.
nerd. Nelson knows that the Conjuration Chair used to be a strike unit task force member. Obviously, the heavy caster member. He has been like he was put off from the strike team. You know this just because you've done some deep digging.
Yeah.
He was put off from the strike team after an incident where he lost a couple of members of his squadron, and he has since been taken to Academ. And as that is one of the kind of aspects that the council also fulfills is the academic study of the schools that they hold. So he kind of rose to the ranks there, and after a while then became he was like the highest ranking member of the Conjuration School, and so therefore took the spot.
Okay. Is that how the chairs normally get their positions?
Yes, usually it's sometimes it's a mentorship mentee kind of situation, but usually it's just the highest ranking member in that school kind of takes that. The highest ranking and oldest or most experienced takes that field.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, I'm really interested in this whole bees boast thing. It's definitely fishy to me. I don't know. I mean, I could probably try to do some more digging into his more business-like affairs, but I don't know. It seems a little difficult. He's never in his office, is he?
No. Could you look into the conjuration chair in his past?
Sure.
And
also Beesbos,
Spec-
just like maybe even a cursory research session on the SWAT database.
I would imagine he's had that stuff. That stuff is not easily accessible.
You never know.
If he's the head of technomancy, though, he would keep that stuff out of the public eye.
Well, they don't have Nelson, do they?
You're right.
Um,
But yeah, if you could do the conjuration in that his connection with my my stepfather.
Okay.
Okay, so right now, in terms of things we're doing this week, it's talk to Amber. I'll finish this Outlander
Lord.
book. Look into Conjuration Chair. Look into Beesbos. Anything else that we can think of that is an actionable thing?
Cash, are you going to keep the silver step shoes safe?
I mean, if you want them, I can give them to you. I don't have much use for them right now.
You come to the realization, Cash, you never received your items back. You never got your cane back. You never got any of your stuff back.
No, I thought
said
he
he got his
he
cane
got his
back.
cane back.
Yes. Okay. This is what I'll say. You received your stuff, and the silver step shoes were not there.
Piss.
You
Can I
don't
keep
have
safe?
them.
No.
They were not amongst the items that would kind of return to your dormitory once it was uncleared out.
Okay, so that's an emergency. We need to deal with that right now.
Oh, so somebody stole my shoes.
and get Cash's stuff. So that's what we're working on. I think
Get the silver step shoes.
yeah. I mean, our only other thing that I can think of this week is I think it would behoove us sometime soon to go back into the spirit realm. Julie, I know you're against it and you don't have to, but
You guys can go.
I'll do it.
I've always wanted to go, so
Yeah, Nelson, that'd be cool.
yeah, I'm willing to go.
I think that would help. Looking back on it, how useful it was. We fought statues in the spirit realm, and we fought statues in real life. There's that, and then the last thing is the Mona Lisa thing. We have to look into how it got swapped. We have to.
We could ask the diplomatic team if they saw anything happen when we handed it over.
Yeah, let's talk to them. Ready, break. I
Okay, so
copy everything from the whiteboard down into my like investigation journal.
Crime
Binder.
binder.
Not my crime binder. That's separate. These are not crimes. This is solving crimes.
But yeah, does anybody else do anything tonight?
I write a note to Amber, and all it says is, what time?
We see a darkened cave. It is wet, it is gross, but it is a cave. It is dark. And in that darkness comes out an even darker darkness. I have been waiting for you, sister. It has taken you quite a long time to breach the portal. It took you a long time to open the way. Tell me, brother, why do you take such foolish titles? The Game Master is unbefitting of you. Well, my devious sister, I think it's quite fun, and it's a little bit closer to my nature, don't you think? I think it would behoove you to choose a name of yourself that the world can know you by. I do not know if I want the world to know me. But if I must choose a title, I think I shall go by entropy.